That time, same bat channel. I see Brendo and Randy at the big desk, so go for it.
Hey guys, yeah, 2 o'clock. Welcome back in here as we head through the afternoon. Just chatting with Randy at the desk here as we get going into the final couple hours of the day on EV news and happenings in the world around us. So we'll touch on a few of those coming up here this afternoon. I'm sure. Here's how things are looking as far as the S&P is concerned as we head into, as I mentioned, the final 2 hours. Tough to see there, but it's Disney having quite the day. 3.4%. Standing out in the consumer services group. It's been that way for most of the session coming off that activist note we were discussing this morning. Speaking of EVs, there's Tesla back upside 2.4%, or better part of 2.4% today. Amazon under a little bit of pressure this afternoon, 1.8 downside. Walmart, Home Depot, Costco, and Lowe's, all the retailers nicely positive ahead of, as Sharif was mentioning there, more retail earnings to come. Banks looking pretty good here this afternoon, trying to offset some of the weakness coming out of some of the big tech names. Google still holding on to a nice 0.5% move. 0.8 down here for Apple as well. Yeah, not going to be, well, I mean, there's still time left, but not going to be 11 in a row for NVIDIA. 11 in a row, 10 in a row. 1.8% downside. AMD as well, 1.6% downside. Intel offsetting that 3%. In positive territory. Just heard a note on Eli Lilly, 3.5% under pressure there, as we saw on the board, but they're going to invest a whole bunch of money into a plant in Germany. Didn't really move on that, but kind of noteworthy there. 590 coming into play right now, a bit of a pullback. Eli Lilly's obviously been relatively strong over the past few months. That's how the overall market is looking as far as the daily candle is concerned. Yeah, still positive, but to the tune of 0.2% only right now. We did get this morning, if you missed it, some more inflation data coming out in the right direction. CPI yesterday, PPI this morning, all pointing down, which is nice, helping the overall market, helping, the Magnificent Seven still, as we saw, a few of them anyways, downside today, but for the most part, higher on the session. All right, let's do a little review, shall we, as to what we were talking about. If you were joining us in the pre-market this morning, we talked about a whole bunch of things, including some earnings. Just hearing Roblox Investor Day today. So heads up on Roblox. Might be doing some things here this afternoon. Let's touch on Target, though, to get things going. There's been barely a downtick in this all day long. I mean, we didn't really do much after 10 o'clock this morning, but what a day it's been for Target. I mean, the report after the close yesterday, more upside today. We're right back to day highs coming off better than expected earnings for TGT.
Yes, sir. Just look, my eyes right now are on Roblox because craziness just happened on Roblox. It's absolutely flying. I was just looking to see if it was going to give the rubber band play back into somewhere in front of 40. Because if it does that, I might look to just jump into this on a quick little scalp trade if it were to flush. But Roblox Investor Day up 5%. This was not a super strong stock, although it was green. Before, it was green by about 30 to 40 cents on Roblox. I don't think anybody's traded. Okay, neither of us have traded Target today. But congratulations if you had this one alongside. It never really. All it did is bounce at the open, and then it has the same $2 top end range here. So with the market obviously being a little bit weak, this is held on to the flag. Now, I didn't necessarily love chasing the move because of all the chop in this range. And oddly enough, that 132, this local high right in here on the daily, that's turned into a bit of a resistance point. So it hasn't been able to break out that high. The good news is it resists the bottom. My take on the extremity of this move being 18% up has more to do with the stock being beaten up for the better part of a year, as opposed to the quarter being good enough to necessarily justify that. So that's why I think it's a bit of a relief rally off of good, turning into great when the price action is begging for any excuse to make a bounce, and then shorts potentially covering. I think it's at a resistance zone, 32 into 37. Whether or not you get a push into that level today, I don't think so. It hasn't really felt like that all through lunchtime. It just feels like a stock which doesn't want to go anywhere in this $2 range. And good for them. I like Walmart more than I like Target in terms of a stock that I own. but this has been begging to finally get to the upside. Like show me a name. Okay, Disney was pretty bad, but they got beaten up over the whole wokeness. And it just seemed like nobody wanted to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. And every time it would consolidate, it would never break out. Today, at least for today, you get a bit of a win on target. But I'm not going to be touching that one.
No, I wrote down target. Hey, what's up, everybody? I wrote down target shorting 130 on the sticky note. It did get up there, obviously. It went real crazy. I should have just gone long and then got out at 130. But yeah, I'm not going to touch this one today. Nice move. I think you want to go long if you break 131.25 or so. Nice little drop down. Look at it, hold VWAP. Sometimes trading is just so easy, and it would have been on target if you were patient and waited for VWAP. So, I mean, that's why, you know, we're here. I'm going to try to give you guys some bangers right now. We got one on right here, right now, and that's Micron. Did I just get those 96s? I'm bidding 96s. Oh, yeah, we did right there. Okay, good. So there's 96, 93, 94. Micron right now, another banger, 20 pennies now in the money on this one. We're holding Microsoft and Micron short right now with Google long. Google almost $1 in. We should maybe get this out actually right now. Google comes all the way back. We're still long from here, by the way. I don't know what we were doing there and sleeping, I guess. But nice move back up there for all of these names. Man, this is honestly, this is one of the better days. Well, every day, like the last 11, 12 days with this market move up has been fantastic day trades. So I hope everyone's making some money here. It's been good. Levels have held. And when they don't, you have to jump on them like that AMD we did earlier. We'll talk about AMD at some point. There are 4 more topics, and then you'll be able to see those trades. But AMD, a pretty monstrous trade, and we're into Micron right now. We just got a 96 fill there, short. Well, we're only short 12. So, all right, back to the desk.
Yeah, I was going to, I mean, I could wait for Tesla for this, but why not? Let's show you this chart here. I mean, we saw this with the NASDAQ. We were talking about it a little bit this morning, but here is the 7, as I was just talking about there, to come on at 2 o'clock. But Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, NVIDIA, Google, Meta, and Amazon, back to highs. So if you combine them all, we're back to highs. So shout out to Benzinga as well. Black Friday deal, guys, right now for Benzinga, 75% off. Benzinga Pro, monthly subscriptions as low as $49.25, forever and ever and ever and ever. So go check out Benzinga. Link in the description, providing all the information as always for us on the show. China, yeah, I saw somebody was tweeting, there's a reporter that was tweeting that the meeting between Xi and Biden going to happen, quote unquote, soon. And that was like a half an hour ago. So I haven't seen any headlines on this today. It's been a bit of a non-event, but yeah, we'll see, maybe this afternoon.
I just got video on my social media of the streets of San Francisco closed because Xi's making his way to meet with Biden. So as soon as we get information on that, obviously we'll pass it along. With respect to what was reported today, coming out of China, retail sales were in focus because they were up big, 7.6% up in October from the previous month versus the 7% expected. Industrial production also rose 4.6% ahead of the 4.4% expected. It was retail. I'm sorry, it was real estate. The sector still lagging, Brendo, 9.3% decline in the month ahead of that 9 print that they were looking for.
Yeah, there's a few individual names that we were watching as well as far as earnings. This was one of them. Bit of a choppy trade for XPeng, still 1.5% on the day, but it was really back and forth. Look at that daily candle turning into a bit of a mess.
And Baba tomorrow.
Yeah, Baba coming up. PDD was the other one as well.
Yeah, Alibaba is reporting tomorrow morning. Well, I guess it's we say morning, but there's a distinction between things that report literally in the hour before the bell and then the things that report in like the early morning for us, which is, it's a little bit overnight. So it's probably more overnight there. Before we get into the Chinese names, Coinbase 100, it broke 100. I was in the first time just now, and then it wicked the top. I jumped right back in underneath the 100, so I'm sitting. We've gone over Coinbase at $100 as a gimmicky trade. I'm out if it gets to 99. You take it and run here is Coinbase. 8% to the upside today, Coinbase, and reaching $100. Felt like it was going to be inevitable. I actually liked Pinduoduo today. I thought this was going to be the one, go for the dip buy. I liked 112. It got to 113.5. So it didn't quite dip down in the level that I was liking. I had that from the daily chart. It was just simply this triple top on the daily. It was looking to buy the dip back in. Wish that wick was real, but it's not. That's a dark pool wick. That would have been a fantastic fill if you could buy it in front of previous resistance. So I like Pinduoduo. It never set up for me, so I didn't have to take the trade. I thought XPeng was going to be a bit of a dog. Whoops, XPeng on the New York. There you go. So we had XPeng back through 17. I'll show you on the 3-minute because it's a little bit easier that way. Let it break through yesterday's high. It failed, 10 cents higher than that. And then once it was on the way back in, grabbed the short at 17.05 into VWAP, break even stop. It's been strong ever since. I don't see myself, actually this looks not bad trading long off 17 now that I look at it again. That's really not bad. XPeng off 17 is probably a scalp trade the more I look at this because that's where I got out of the short. That's where the short was good. And now it's turning into support at that level. But it's a Chinese ADR, so you see a 25-cent range on the stock and you want to go long off that bottom, then wait for it to get to 17 even because you're probably scalping that instead of expecting a home run. But in and out quickly on coin, there's the 100 down into 99. So half out 99.5, the rest out in front of 99 even. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the trades are easy peasy lemon squeezy right there. Yeah, lemonade's a tasty treat.
No lemon in my tea. Like a little,
lemonade tea. We do have honey and all that kind of
honey,
stuff.
yes.
Coming back right there. But nice trade there on Coinbase. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I like that. Okay, what are we talking about? China? I don't have anything China related today unless we're talking about some of the chips.
All the chips are China related.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But then we have semis coming up soon. So, okay, let's just go back to the desk. I don't have anything for China. I was looking for Alibaba. And honestly, I'm just watching this Microsoft.
All right, let's touch on Tesla, shall we? Because back upside today. For Tesla, we were just talking a little bit about Honda. Speaking of, I mean, I guess they're getting into hybrids now. I've been seeing more and more hybrids, but they don't really have an entire EV, I don't think, yet. But anyway.
Japanese have been slow to adopt.
Baby, and you're saying they do? Okay. I stand corrected. 2.5%, another green day coming through here for Tesla. It really wasn't much in the way of news catalysts this morning. We were touching just on the fact that it's been so strong over the past couple of days. I mean, there was that note that was kind of interesting, unrelated to Tesla, but SpaceX possibly going to spin off Starlink as soon as early next year.
Yeah, and the Cybertruck release date was publicized November 30th, and the event that's going to happen afterwards, it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes down. We know that interest rates were directly related to the decline in sales for Tesla. Elon Musk made no bones about that, whether on the call or whether on the Joe Rogan podcast after that. So we'll have to see how this, more relief rate environment does for sales.
There's some updated guidance numbers coming through from that investor day for Roblox as well. Back downside right now, but that initial spike anyway seems to have passed.
So
before I didn't trade Tesla today, so Sean's gonna mention it. But I'd swear, and I could be wrong about this. I was trying to find this. I'd swear I saw Elon respond to something saying that Starlink thing wasn't true. But I'm not sure. I'd relish the ability to invest in Starlink. I think it's fantastic. My sister-in-law, that's what they use because they're deep up north. Sorry, they're up north.
It would be unlimited.
They're up north in Deep River, not deep up north. They're up north in Deep River, which is like 6 hours from here, but not great coverage. And once they got Starlink, I mean, like they love it. Anyone I know that has it in the Caribbean and other places, they think it's fantastic. So, that being said, I didn't trade Tesla today. I traded Rivian.
All right, we traded Tesla. It's I don't know. It might be the number one stock P&L wise, but either way, look at this. We have the dead bottom of the day on Tesla, and I don't know how you would predict that other than looking at the sticky note right here. We wrote down 236, 238 support. I mean, I don't know what else we can do other than just hold it for longer. It ripped up, man. We took 240s out, so we got 350. Then we had 340.50 there. And then obviously we got out and it dipped down into 338. That should have been a reload. And then it absolutely takes off on some news from the States or whatever right there. So huge move up there for Tesla, just continues to go up. We're still here. We're still super confident. Great to have that trade. And great to see it react that way. So yeah. Uber confident on trading this name. We talked about the dip buy potential. It did exactly what we thought, and then there it is. So it's a pretty easy trade for me on that Tesla when you stay confident with your ability, We talked about reading books, that trading in the zone. That's the one thing it is. It's mental. You could sit here and blame the market. I got wicked out. I got that. I got this. But you got to have the trade. So you put the trade on right there, and then you react after that. So nice move to the upside. I didn't think that was happening. I'm loving some Tesla. I'm long Tesla. Probably forever long that name. And you know, good move there. We just bought it off of yesterday's area. Like, this is what we wrote down. We wrote it. I mean, it's right there. These tops, these tops, these tops. Drops right in. We take the long, and the rest, as they say, is history. So far, so good. Tesla, keep buying any dips, but for right now, I'm off of it. That was a missed opportunity right there at 240.50. We're having a great day. So all is well. The only thing that we're worried about right now is this Microsoft trade that we are still, flirting with here. The stop on this trade is 370.50, those of you wondering. So we're holding this right now. It's an amazing 30 cents against us.
An amazing 30 cents. Yeah, unsurprisingly, it was Bloomberg that reported that Starlink story initially, and yeah, false. So Bloomberg being Bloomberg. Let's talk about SoFi here. It was Barclays came out with an initiation on SoFi this morning, bouncing off 725. It was at underweight, I believe, for SoFi, but there was some positive comments in the actual note. Downside right now, but gave back this gap early on.
Yeah, with a price target now of $8 and an equal weight rating, analyst Terry Ma of Barclays liking the SoFi story. We'll have to see how they do. You know, they were reeling off the Biden administration's loan forgiveness program, student loan forgiveness program, and then that got overruled by the Supreme Court, and it looks like he's going to come at it another way. So we'll have to wait and see how this does, but not a bad day.
I mean, yeah, Elon's saying it's false, but I wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No, neither would I.
I would not be surprised at all.
We were just sort of chatting about this, but when rates come back, when rates go down, then you can start thinking about when I think that would happen, and maybe if Twitter's back public. But SoFi, whether whoever initiates or all that other good stuff, to me, it's just all I care about is the channel.
Let's go.
And when it bounces off the bottom, I want it breaking back into the top. So I was looking longs on SoFi, despite the fact that it was dipping, bounce off that 650 until you get to $8. I want to favor the longs, so we went dip buying this morning into yesterday's support levels. And surprise, yesterday's support level to yesterday's high was the out. And I could have gotten back into this. I actually was trading, and I'm in Rivian at this exact same moment when this bottom got made, because Rivian was a stronger stock. And it's like reload stock, which is weak at the level, or reload stock, which is relatively strong at a similar level like that. So I did not get back into SoFi. I'd rather, if I'm taking, like, generally speaking, something which is holding stronger, and Rivian was holding its breakout level. So both of them had support. Clearly, you get a better bounce if you're in SoFi. If I go back to SoFi, you get a better bounce. But I generally will prefer to trade a long in a stronger stock. So that's why we're sitting in Rivian as we speak. But SoFi was an easy one and done here, waiting around for it to get back to the downside. And if it does get up to $8 on that channel, I want to fade it when it gets there. But it's nowhere near that price yet.
Okay, here we go. Let's go. Spin it one more time. There's Microsoft. We're at days high right now for my net. There, Microsoft pulling in right now. We just talked about shorting that. There it is right there off VWAP. See you later, alligator. It's Microsoft to the downside. We've got it, and we've got it good right now. It's 50 cents in the money. So let's see what happens to Microsoft. Hopefully this continues to fade out. Micron continuing. Hello, right now, Micron continuing to fade out as well. Man, this is a great, again, I keep saying this, great day trade. I was saying this was a great day trading when Micron was all the way up here. This is what we're doing. We're scalping it out. Again, thanks for watching. It's been a fantastic day. One more time, we're going to go AMD, GBTC, Google, Microsoft, Micron, Palantir, and Tesla today. Be very, very specific with what we're doing. And we are at days high right now for the P&L as this move continues to break lower. I want to stay net short everything right now. We're still long Google at still 70 cents, but trying to see if there's another pullback in here on this market as we don't even come to VWAP, and then we break the 50 period to the downside. We were just, I mean, Brendan didn't mock it or anything like that, but I was like, oh, we're just 30 cents out of the money. Well, now we're 50 cents in the money. So that's an 80-cent turnaround right there in Microsoft in 5 minutes. So let's see if we can get a little bit lower here before we really start ringing the register. Almost yet again another dollar club here. Let's see what happens. I'm bidding I have so many bids out. 369.23 right now. So that's what I'm bidding. I'm not really sure why. Oh, that's probably where this is. Yeah, so that's where the 200 period is. That's literally at 23. So we're going to sit there, still follow our rules. That's what it's all about right now. And back over to Brent.
I don't mock Sean, never. Let's talk NVIDIA, or some semis. Here's the AI, that was the note that came out. This is mid-morning. Here, let me grab a smaller time frame. Yeah, they're going to launch this generative AI foundry service on Microsoft's cloud. That, I mean, started some selling, at least a little bit early on today, but overall chips have been a bit of a choppy trade so far.
Yeah, that is, except if you're Intel. I mean, Intel having a fantastic day, 2 2/3%, Brendo. It continues to make local highs on INTC, breaking through that $40 level today. I'm sure Neil's happy about that. Not seeing anything headline related with these, Brendo, but we did hit that 500 on NVIDIA, so that could have been a psychological resistance.
Yeah, a ton of volume today, it's worth mentioning too. But overall, I mean, depending on where you're looking, they all kind of started that way today and then come back to the downside. It's worth noting, I was just hearing, oil ending the session, or is going to here in 10 minutes, down more than 2% on the day now. So energy stocks downside a little bit.
That was a little, was that Sharif like, yes, little Napoleon Dynamite wanting oil to go down? Slow down, man. Well, that's all good. I don't know. You have a trade on in oil? I didn't know he actually had a vested interest in that. But, oh, I went to Netflix.
It's because he wants to fill up his car.
Oh, it's because of... No, but hold on a second. You know that's way better. We don't get the kind of relief when oil prices go down. It does. You're not going to get the relief at the pump the way that it does in the other direction. But yeah, well, obviously we're happy as consumers sometimes. But it's more than a psychological level. This 500 on NVIDIA, because like the 52-week high is like 502.66. So you were at the big resistance level on the daily when you get that reversal pattern. At least today on NVIDIA. Impressive move, 400 to 500. How many times has it done that? Like it falls. Like it does that 20%, like absolutely nothing is happening. Intel's a rocket ship. This channel has held true the entirety of the year. But at some point, it will stop. Right now, it's pointing to 41 as a high, or at least 41 as a resistance level. If we get there, we get there. I think that's a shortable level here today, but the market, it was on its way. Let's put it this way. It was on its way, and I was going to short 41 because that channel I want to respect. Intel has been giving it to you off that bottom, and if it breaks this out, it could be very, very interesting. I was in one time on AMD. This level here, 119 previous support. We're in. It gave you the pullback a couple of times. It then broke it out. I got away from it. Didn't have another level that I like to trade. So got in, made sure that we got stopped out right on the line for AM Dizzle. And it's continuing to said downside. I actually believe, like AMD was the one name, okay, maybe this might not be true. It was the one name that I looked at this morning on that crazy move to the upside yesterday that was this much trend down, that was a relatively big cap tech name. So once it was here, I was looking for these levels. I like that lower high, 121. Sometimes it gives you a bit of a hint when you see a super strong day, like how does everything react to a super strong day? And at one point, this broke down underneath the morning range on a strong stock. So I don't want to be long this until you retest some of the key support at like 115 is a big level and 110 is a big level on AMD. But that was signs of weakness in all of the chip names with the exception of Intel. Intel's the only, and ARM, sorry, my bad. ARM 56, we all know about ARM at $56 on the daily chart. That was the other one. It's super strong, up 3% today. It was this and Intel that were the super strong names. But that hasn't even gotten back to the high. 56 back into 54.
All right. We talked about this on the midday show. Intel. We didn't trade Intel. We probably should have. But AMD. I mean, look at this. Look at this spike. So remember we got stopped out there on that move up. We were shorting, banking. And then that move happened, spiked up. We got stopped out right here. We got stopped out at 119.50. Well, guess what? we put on double, triple, quadruple shorts up here at 120.20. And then we just covered our last piece there at 118.50. We actually got that cover at the time it was breaking through the 50 period. We talked about that on the midday show. That was the cover right there. AMD has continued to go to the downside. The idea behind it is, and again, like we said, it's going to be hard for you guys to mimic my trades, but as long as you stay in the same bias, like we didn't have a long bias in AMD. We were short yesterday in AMD. Look at this, right? We're short today in AMD. So it's just one of those things where stay strong with your positions. And I was saying to Patrick that we didn't have this load up here because I wasn't here right there. That's another fantastic spot because if you take that 120 short again, you could just give it to the same spot I did. We're giving these trades like 20, 30 cents to bank at $2. So it's a good one there. We did scalp it out, man. When this came back in, like look how fast this came back in. So a lot of action today with NVIDIA, a lot of action abound, and yeah, keep on trucking, man. This NVIDIA is I don't know, it's not a missed trade of the day. Like I said, we're having a great day. But off of 500, it doesn't, sometimes trading is, and I say this, like tongue-in-cheek, but not really. Like sometimes trading is this easy. You just wait, you wait for this to come through, and it did. So whether or not you're gonna give this $2 to the high of 502 or not, like if you're not giving NVIDIA $2, then you're not playing this play. So, you know, there's the high, there's 500, so you take that back in down to 488. You don't, I wouldn't have held this $12, or would have I? You saw me make $4 on Tesla, so I don't think I would have held this. But nice move back in, and it's right there right now at the 200 period again. I'm gonna stick with AMD, but this is an exciting short one more time. I'd rather it get to this 493 area before we start to short it, but there it is. It's NVIDIA, it's a nice move down there off of 5 bills. I'm a little nervous about their report. You know, not nervous about what they're gonna say. I mean, I guess the worst thing they could say is record revenues and record profits because that dropped the stock 20% last time. Let's see what happens with NVIDIA today. Getting hit, Michael Burry. Michael Burry's called 50 of the last 2 recessions, so watch out for this guy's short right now in the semis.
Although Inversion has a good track record in terms of calling recessions. That's about the only thing that calls a recession. 100% out of 100, which is interesting because it's going to get put to the test this time. This is if we don't get one, this would be the time that yield curve fails us. So you know, look, go to what works in terms of pullbacks. But I will say this, you know, look, I don't know when it's a 13F filing. I have no idea when Michael Burry put those positions on. Anytime in the last quarter. But Nvidia was at that $500 level. AMD just made a recent top. I
mean, I was
the
going
top of the
short
channel on
Burry.
Intel. Like, if you look at it, like there's actual resistance on the semis when you've seen some of like the Mag 7, some of them have blown through those highs. And then if you have them report, you have a report coming in for NVIDIA, it's not a bad risk to reward play. If the top fails, it's 20% on NVIDIA pretty easily because it's done it 3 times already. Back to the desk with Brendo.
All right, Sharif and I just monitoring this conference that's happening. Biden and Xi sitting down right now, so just be aware. Market a little bit volatile on that, possibly. Yeah, rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas. As always, take advantage. Right now, bottom right corner, scan that QR code. TraderTV 30% off from our friends over at Trade Ideas, including their brand new web app version. You get all the data on individual stocks. You get charting as well, and any related news on an individual name. Tons of great scans, tons of great stuff, as you've heard many, many times on the show. And you also get access to Michael Noss and help from him getting started. So go check out Trade Ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Go have those guys a shout out. Shout out to Michael Knotts. He'll be on our show, I guess, Friday, and then we'll see after that. No, I mean, just about Michael Burry. Like, I haven't checked his stuff. I just retweeted something that someone else posted. The idea is that I've been looking short anyways the last couple of days. Like Neil said, we don't know when that report came out. You just trade what you see, and that's definitely working out right now. So all good on that one. All right.
Well,
so
I kind of meant that he could have put that on at a point where like he could be deep out, like he'd be way out of the money, or he could have a top. I have no idea. Like, does he have the top? Is he way out of the money? Who knows at this point?
Well, the only way to have that top. Well, I mean, yeah. When was that 13F filing?
Well, the thing is,
because you can only have a top if you put it on yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. He could have been like.
Yeah. So who knows?
Again, you just don't know.
Okay, so we'll continue to watch out for that. It's crazy that we both going to wind up being red or whatever on Palantir today, because Palantir was like, it went right. Oh no, it went down. I wish I didn't even see that again. Went right down into 70s again, which was the level that we liked. We like 75. If we come over to the screen here, Fabian, what up, my guy? Right there. Making that move back in down to 75, we punched out. That's where we wanted the long. So it's just getting in too early there on the day. That this is a trade that we're going to be down on. It's Palantir. We're only red on one name today. It's PLTR, and that's what it is right here. All right, we're into Microsoft. Microsoft approaching that 370.50 area. That's where we're going to get out. This is why you cover when it comes down into the 200 period. We went over that, over that. Now it's going to come back up. It looks like we could get stopped out if it does take that 50 area. Is it 370? Yeah, 370.50. So right now it is making its move back up to the upside. If it's a stop out, it's a stop out. We hit it last time. Not so much now as it's coming back in. So watch out, a little bit cautious here. Short Microsoft at 370.16. We do have shares on, so hopefully this name can come back in and we'll be able to reap a little bit of benefits on this. But it is starting to get back up to the upside here for Mr. Softy. Look at the future. The futures are actually starting to go right now. So I'm a little bit nervous about this whole Biden Xi stuff. So
well, yeah, that's sort of the thing.
I might get out here.
You just wicked 15.9. So remember 15.9 was that bounce spot early in the morning? Well, this morning, I should say. Well, 15.9 just on the NASDAQ just held this rejection candle almost to the downside. Like it broke it, got 20 handles, we're back above. So you're almost like resuming this move into the upside. I missed a reload on Rivian. I'm not, you know what? I always find if I'm taking a breakout trade, it should resolve itself pretty quickly. I had an in and out on Palantir. That was I'm throwing a stop, and then instead of throwing a stop order, I just accidentally punched out right away. So I have two longs in the same price and in and out. Then I got back in, but I had my stop instantly underneath 2020. It just couldn't follow through. I still think it's going to be worth taking shots at Palantir breaking out over 20 bucks. Like look at the daily chart. You're gonna one of these days, if it's gonna break out from here, it's gonna go $1 for you, and maybe even $1.50, $2 that day. So I think it's gonna be worth it. It's actually still green on the day, and it's still at that $20 level. You come back in tomorrow, and we might be still dancing with this same breakout on Palantir, and it's worth it till it doesn't. I know you could think short off of here, too. It's just I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. But I suppose if you went short off this resistance on Palantir, you were better off. I just really like what it could do for a breakout off of these levels. If we're going to rally, I want to get involved in Intel. If this is a long for the rest of the day, before we get to 41, that's still Palantir. I hit enter. I'm on the bid here. If we get back into this 40-40, you had lunchtime highs. You had some support here at 40-40. I want to take the shot. I was short at the 40 level with a stop at 40 and 10 cents. Ended up losing 15 pennies on it, but you got to be able to join this trend. I wanted VWAP all day, and it never gave it to me. So I'm going to stop thinking about VWAP on this stock and start looking for the mid here. So I'm on the bid in front of 40-40 on Intel, looking for that long. It's not the only one, though. So now that the coin might just get back to 100 bucks. Like it dipped, it got to 98.5. It's now putting in another run at 99.5. If this takes out 100 a second time, it might just be a breakout trade for Coinbase, man. Like that's an impressive secondary run for this name. I did miss a reload on Rivian, but I'm back at it at 17.20. There you go. I just think this stock can keep giving you this range over and over again. 17.20, good support for Rivian. And I'm in Fisker from this morning and a couple of times this afternoon. Just you'll see, it's not going to move a ton. My stop is literally like 3 cents on Fisker here. So I was short it this morning. That was the better trade, and then short this consolidation in the afternoon, and basically the same thing here. I'm just looking for that to continue its downside trend. Not every EV name is having a good day today. Fisker is the one that is not. I'm assuming, I don't know. I looked at Lucid. I think it was up when I looked at it. But Fisker, since that earnings play, not good for them. If it breaks 330, I'm out. This is the third time in, second time at this price. And one last one before we get back. Roblox, all the way back in. So that investor day, that's wild. Like I want that usual first rubber band play. Like when the first pullback, look for that bounce. If I don't get that, then wait for it to really stabilize, which just hasn't happened yet. It's still up on the day, oops, we zoomed out too far. It's still up on the day, but I'd like to see it reclaiming 40 and reclaiming VWAP if we're going to go long. So Roblox, one of the big pieces of news from Brendan here was 15 million downloads on PlayStation for Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox is hot fire, man.
No, they're definitely hot fire, and the daily chart looks good too. Like, there's nothing wrong with the daily. Obviously, it's been great off the 37, 38 level and that 200 period moving average. As far you're not trading off that today. Like, to me, you're trading off where it came from. Like, this is 39.40 when they started the investor day. That's where support came in. I think bouncing off that level looks reasonable, or reclaiming VWAP, and I would get involved in the long. Want this to calm down though.
All right, we're here again. I don't know what else to do. We were getting nervous about that Microsoft. And here it is, man. Now we're 30 cents in the money on that reloaded trade. We did get some out for flat, like really stupid. I got out of like basically 25% rate there. Like when it went up, I started to think about it and I was like, you know, is there going to be something announced here? You know, more positive talk about technology and things like that if these two get together, and it just made sense. And I mean, and on that note too, I did punch out some more here on Micron, which Micron's been great. That's another positive stock. Like I said, we're 7-1 or 6-1 today. It's Palantir, that bugs me. But Microsoft cannot be read. This is the #1 P&L stock today, and this is why. We've just had a good bias. We've been shorting off of VWAP since then. We went long early at 370. Then we realized that the market didn't have the strength that it did early. And then we just started going shorting the pops. Great trades for Microsoft. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's Intel or Microsoft, which one I made more money on this year on the show, but definitely Softy lately has been really, really good. So we're just going to continue to watch it. Hopefully it does fade back down. And again, it's relative weakness, right? This is what we're trading, 0.13 versus 0.25. So here we go. Now we're 33 cents in the money and going down. And we have, you know, a decent sized position. Like, I don't know. Like, this is going well, and trading is going really, really well. We talked about reading that book, Trading in the Zone. I mean, yeah. So right now, it's good. You guys have watched every single day on the show, and I could put it again. We keep on giving you the symbols that I'm red or green on, and that's, you know, those are the truth. And it's just a matter of waiting to see, you know, bigger positions. Like, really, that's the biggest thing you always want to battle with is like risk to reward and things like that. And you know, so that's something that I have to work on. But as far as like picking winners and things like that, it's, you know, we're pretty on fire like Grady Dick from the 3-point land. So all is well there, and it's been a good one for sure. Yeah, join me tonight. We'll have Chris Bretcher on. He wants to talk about MACD. Next week, though, and I'm talking to this guy on chat right now, we do have the one and the only from All-Star Charts coming through on the after show. It's JC Peretz. He's going to be coming on. Well-known dude in the CMT environment. Really, really charismatic and everything like that. We're going to have JC Peretz on. He's friends with Josh Brown, so on and so forth. So we reached out, and boom goes the dynamite. He'll be with me on the after show next Thursday recap show. So All-Star Charts, JC Peretz coming through. Again, you know, of different podcasts and things like that. So we'll have him on. He's just a CMT guy. We were talking recession back and forth today a little bit there. So yeah, he has a lot of good thoughts, and we're happy to have him coming through next Thursday. But tonight is Chris Bretcher. Oh no, sorry, JC is tomorrow. It's this Thursday. Sorry, Brendo. I was like, who's tomorrow then? It's tomorrow, JC. So shout out to JC for that. And it's, you know why? It's because Chris just messaged me. He wants to switch times next week. So shout out to everybody that's watching that show. It's been really popular, lots of energy. It's Hydration Nation time on that show. We go through recaps and everything. So come through. Tonight's earning board, do we have that up? I'm not sure.
Pan Dubs aftermarket.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Pan W. Is a stock that I've owned forever.
You should see the hammer rejection today on Pan W.
Yeah, really.
It's actually, yeah, hold on a second. I had a firm.
Microsoft.
But Pan W is reject. It's a high. Look, it's a 52-week high. So I mean, rejecting 52-week high is never a bad thing because it means you got to a 52-week high. But PanW, here's the chart quickly here today, guys. It is down 1.7% going into earnings, but look at the big top there. It's trend up into the same high, but it's been rejecting 265 umpteen times here. So I think it's not. I don't think it's unexpected, but that's the big one to watch. I know Cisco.
Oh, Cisco.
Like I know Cisco.
All right, I'm gonna make that board up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever.
Sector recap.
I haven't traded Cisco on this show. However, Cisco was one of the first stocks that I did trade as a day trader. It was like the group of 4 that I was trading when I first started, even in training mode in 2003. It was Cisco, Oracle, Microsoft, and I think Intel. No, AMAT. It wasn't even. It was AMAT was the 4th one. Those were the 4 names that I remember trading when I was first in simulation. But Cisco, we don't really pay that much attention to. BABA and PanW. That's what everyone's going to be caring about. It was a firm I wanted to get to. There we go. A firm. I was in this one very, very briefly, right before we came on air, looking for a continuation short on a firm. I didn't get this one today off 27. This is the 27 level on the daily, double top. Should have shorted it, is what it is, didn't get it. Went for the first continuation after I knew I missed out on the trade. If this gets back into the 27 level, I think you fade it. It's like 70 cents, sorry, it's $1 away. Didn't even get to 26.20, so it's got some room to go before it even attempts that 27. It's just a monster level on the daily chart that goes all the way back. I mean, this level goes all the way back to September of 2022 for a firm. That was the last time it was breaking, or at least attempting to break that $27 level. So we get there again, I think we take the short. But we missed it the first time, but at least coin came back for us. If it gets to 100 again, I don't think I want to short it at 100 again. I think that could be a little bit of a disaster and a bit of a trap to try to short that coin at 100 a second time.
All right. Oh, man. Okay, so I just took some more out on Microsoft here at 370. We did get a 370.80 or 369.80 or something there when it dipped down. What was that price right there? 88. And then it just broke above, and I took an O's again here. We have shares, that's all. So it's like we're just scalping it out right now, hopefully coming back in one more time. Now coming back in, so here it is. All right, let's go. Again, you know, we're just trading the stock. We're trading what we see. We're bidding 368.70 right now, so just kind of in here. There's a little bit of a bottom there. Or sorry, 368, 369.70. I'm actually not bidding 369.70. I am bidding 368.70. Okay, so let's put a bid in there. That's what's confusing. All right, so we'll put it in right there. So if it comes back in, we'll have that on board. I'm just going to sit here and trade these names, man, because you guys can see the positions that we have on and sort of the money that's being made here. So we're just going to watch this. This is 17 cents in, and I don't have a problem looking for other stuff. So shout out to Shakib. Yo, what's up, Shakib? All right, what does he have to say? I made 1,200 USD right there. Good job. I'm done. Why do you have energy like this? No, I'm actually not super hydrated today. That's a good point. I'm going to go get some more water. Hey, Shakib, look, I mean, you guys know this. This is why we're doing the recap show. We've got energy for days, and it's just part of it comes from passion. It's not even about having a lot of energy. Like, it's just, you know, I love what we're doing here. We brought this show together. You know, we talked about like when Neil started. Like, I hired Neil. You know, like I knew what kind of a job this was going to be, and you know, this is just what I want to do. And I'm very passionate about it, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys are also passionate about it. And you know what, honestly, it also does come from success, right? I mean, I really enjoy this, but you have to be able to catch these winners. And sure, you know, some days you guys can see it, you know, when I'm not feeling it as well, it's kind of like whatever. Like, why did I just do that? I just punched out when I'm bidding 76, okay? So I just took some 85s there. I was like, oh, this is going down too much. But no, it's just, it's about having a good time. It's about putting these on for you. It's about doing the sticky note here with like, look at this. This is what I'm here for. I want to make you guys money. I'm in this trade, you know? So this is what I'm trying to do. You know, we're giving you some ideas, giving you some trades, hear the market coming down again. So I just want to say, like, it's been a real blessing to be with everybody. And as long as this market keeps on doing what it's doing, it doesn't even matter the market, right? I mean, we're still here. It's been a really good month here. Not a great month, but it's been a good month. And we sometimes talk about that, but
I think for most people, it's been better in November than it has been than it was for October, generally speaking. I don't know if that's true across the board. But I don't know. Okay, I'll speak for myself then. I thought, you know, again, like I had some conversations with a few traders. At least they feel like they've been reading it better. But I can tell you, I think,
That's true.
I can tell you, I can tell you, I feel November. I know November's been better than last month. But at the same time, there's ebbs and flows to the market, and you've got to be willing to. The only way that you're going to weather those storms is A, having a plan of action, and B, you have to want to do this. You got to like what you do at the end of the day. If you enjoy your job, you'll never do a day of work. It's yada yada yada. That's an old saying. I don't know who said it first, but I'd give them credit if I knew. But it is what it is. There was a good question. Someone said, "Well, if 100 worked on Coinbase, why don't you want to short it again?" So this would be it's the second time today it gets to this level. In every single time frame, so this is the daily chart bouncing off the 200. It's breaking out. It's actually pretty bullish on the year. Okay, let me zoom in. On the year, it's a bullish stock. Look at the bounce, higher low off the 200, takes a 50. Now double tapping the $100 level. And since it rejected 100, all it did is hold on. Look at the hold of support that Coinbase did. So the first time through, great. You know, the short works, but for it to retest it like 30 minutes later, on an obvious level like that, you know, take the money and run. It almost looks like that's just begging to run you over in power hour. So that's it could be dead wrong. You know what? Let's be real. If you shorted the second time through, maybe you just took 99.75s instead of 99.90s, and you're already in the money. I just feel like that's higher lows back into the same level. So I take the money and run because it's against the trend going into that $100 level. Brendo?
There was a move in Bitcoin going back to earlier on, about 1 o'clock this afternoon. We had to push up through to 37,500 again. It took a while, but it seems like there was a delayed decision, or the SEC is going to delay a decision on Hashdex Bitcoin spot ETF, and also the Grayscale Ether futures filing, which we were talking a little bit about last week. But yeah, definitely volume behind that move. Nice look for Bitcoin today.
Just shorted
Yes.
GBTC right here. You can come to my screen if you want to see it. It's not breaking this 50. So this is something here. I'm short 51s, sorry. You can't see it on the screen. It doesn't show the PKs on here, but I am short this right here, right now. Just thinking about, I mean, if it breaks higher, we're going to punch out, which it looks like it's trying to do right now. Thing about this is there is liquidity, but you see even right now there's 2 cents of spread, and then okay, here we go. You may not be able to, yeah, I'm just going to punch out. You may not be able to hit these levels. So see, even right now, I'm trying to buy 52s, and I'm not out yet. So hopefully once we do get out, you'll start to see it there. We're starting to get some partial fills right now, so we will start to punch out a little bit there of this. But that's something that we were doing there. I just punched out twice, and now I'm long, so just a small amount. But yeah, that didn't break. So I was looking at that right here. I might just punch this out at some point. You see all those fills and how the level didn't really change there or anything like that. So you got to be really, really careful with what you're doing. We don't have to be too careful with Microsoft right now. That's 70 cents in the money and still going to the down. Oh, sorry, that's Micron. Sorry, that's 25 cents in. This is Microsoft. As I'm watching it on my second screen here, waiting for this thing to get back in. So we do have to have some bids down here. It'll be $1. And the thing about this trade is we talked about it. We put it on together. We talked about it coming up to view up. We talked about where it was. We talked about being scared and getting out of some of that. That's the one thing that for sure I have to deal with is trying to go against like what I see sometimes. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm changing my mind. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. And like just right there on Bitcoin, you know, it didn't break. Like I went short, it didn't break. I saw it reserve. And here it comes. Now it's going to go. Watch now. It's
one of the worst things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Day traders don't know this more than most is when you see a big reserve level and you're like, "Ooh, I want this break," and then as it's going, you're like, "I'm getting in right now," and then they reload or it doesn't go in the moment. They're just like, "Oh crap!" Like I've been in that spot. Like it's never fun because you're like, well, if this breaks, it's gonna be fantastic. You hit it, it's like it's about to go, and they refresh or something along those lines. I just found something on Meta. Meta's down 1%. The market's up 0.16. So Meta is relatively weak. Amazon too. I'm gonna talk about Amazon next because Amazon retail today, yuck. Amazon was not good or healthy. Oh, that wick just came back. I'll zoom back in so you can see this better. Look at the resistance here above 333 into 333.5 on Meta. As we're battling 15.9 on the NASDAQ, this is battling with 333. So I want to get fills over 333 into the half and try to get this short down into 332. The other name, as I just talked about this, Amazon It's down one. It's actually closer to VWAP, so in some ways it's gotten some strength back. But it's down 1.5%. I was in this short 144 to 143, and it's almost a triple. It's not really a triple top because it's clearly traded a lot higher than this earlier on in the day. But it's now tested 144 3 times since we ended the morning show, twice since lunchtime. This at VWAP looks pretty spicy as well. Again, a retail name. Part of the issue in terms of why, if I had to guess, and again, it's always a guess as to why something rejects a high, well, this just marched from the 200 period back to the 52-week high in short order. So, it's just an excuse for some profit taking is my guess here on Amazon. That does make me bearish on it for at least for today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But if it gets back to this 144, I want to take Meta. If this one sets up first, then I probably go over to Amazon as well. That looks pretty weak. Tisha, thank you for the super chat. Can you go over EBIX and AIR? That's AIRE. One of those, we were looking at AIR this morning, or at least I know some people were looking at the midday show as well. This is a very, very clean, one of the cleaner rejections you will see at like first at $15, and then a simple breakout past the morning high, like $12 looks like it was a simple breakout. So it's exactly halfway to where it rejected at 15. So you have 12, that was an aftermarket rejection of 15. It broke out from 12. This is right in that midpoint. You can probably guess what I'm going to say here. There's your morning high. There's your breakout price. There's only 2 things I would ever dip by here. I wouldn't take a breakout that close to 15. But I think you look at this 13 level if you like tight stops. Otherwise, something in around that $12 level is what I want to be messing with if I'm trading the stock. The volume's good because it just picked back up again. So I like the way the volume is going here. But I'm never taking breakouts. Well, I shouldn't say never. Since last year, dip buying these kind of penny stocks or low float runners has been much better if you can find a dip buy than taking out high breaks in the afternoon. So until that comes back in favor, I wouldn't want to do it. EBIX is a little different in that it is bouncing off VWAP with a 30 to 40 cent range in here that you can grab, and it's retesting the low. I feel like most of me is saying this could flat bottom break. Like, look at this rejection at 640, 15 minutes going to be even better. Like, look at that potential flat bottom break. So if you're trading this one to the long side, you tell me based on this chart. Like, what would you do if this stock broke $6? Can we come to my chart? Oh, no worries. Yeah, if this breaks $6, do you like the long if this breaks 6? Personally, I wouldn't, but to each their own. Like, that looks like a bit of a flat bottom break, although we'd have to pay to be able to short it.
So I went short again. I'm gonna have to punch out again. Like, I'm short at 50. I'm gonna take a 1 penny or 2 penny hit here on this crypto. It's not moving. I went short again here at 29.50. I mean, we're also just punch out there. We'll punch out. I'll wait for it. Oh, sorry, that was Microsoft. I was trying to show right here as well. We just got another piece out. But here's GBTC. What I just did again. Like, I punched in and out here 3 times, thinking that it was going to break lower. Maybe now we just go long, but then it's not doing anything here either. So I was just hoping that at some point crypto might crack here one way or the other, and then we'll take it. But right now, it's not doing a whole heck of a lot. So we're gonna have to wait to see if GBT does anything. Micron, we just took another piece right there. I mean, might as well spin this. Again, another trade that we put on just before we came on. Actually, this one was our last one. Our last fill was at 130 or 140 right there against a pretty obvious level again. Like I said, this is what it is for right now. So that's a good trade there. So if crypto moves, we'll have a look at that. And then there goes right now Microsoft, trying to watch out for that one. I'm still gonna look at Tesla. We have a great bottom tick there on Tesla today, but unfortunately just took the $4 and ran, and then now it's huge. Kind of just trading in the middle right now. Don't really want to do anything with this kind of a stock. Let's look at Target. We did want to fade that 130. It's here right now, so this might not be a horrible situation. Bitcoin's still not moving. I might have to just eat that one and just forget about it and not even look at it again. All right, Microsoft, look, I'm going to punch out again. One more piece here. We'll take up 63s. So there it is one more time. We'll ring the register again there, hit the sirens, because we're going to take 60 cents. Like, I'm waiting for the bottom, but as it keeps going back upside, we now, unfortunately, guys, we only have like 15% left of this. It wasn't coming in. Look, we have 2 fills there, 1 fill there, another fill just now, avoiding this huge move to the upside. So yeah, man, good trading here, but it seems like we've done the right thing by getting out of Microsoft. So let's do that. It was a good take on Micron. I do want to hold this one, of course, because we trade relative strength. I told you the only 2 things that I do is relative strength, relative weakness, and then technical analysis on support and resistance levels. That's my style of trading. So if you want to hear a bunch of different styles and a little bit of education and things like that, the midday show has been fantastic. I want to thank everybody for the support in that as well. You can watch it, Dara and Sharif Learn to Trade. But we have the strategy, we're using it, and it's been pretty successful. So far so good, relative strength and weakness, and then just pick the right names. And that seems hard, but it's watchlist.tradertv.live. Neil has something up as well, and we have the sticky note. So go find hashtag that, and you can go back and see that. Today, we're AMD, successful trade, obviously, as we go short right there. GBTC, I mean, I don't know, a couple of ins and outs there. Not really much happening on that one. We are red on that, just punching back and forth there, but that's just fees. Google, come on. I mean, Google, we're long down here and still long. So that's going to be a good one. Microsoft today, boom. I'm just going over all the stocks. I'm not like picking and choosing. There's Micron right there. That's a short in as well. Here's Palantir. This is the L. We started it long, lost, took it back there, took a little bit of money, but then lost on the last piece. And now it's right where maybe we should look at it again. And then Tesla is really the widowmaker as we get the bottom of the day easily there. And then all the way back up. Like, wow. To have known that was going to happen. But again, trade your book. Trade your names. Most of these names, on pretty much all of them on the sticky note here. Oh, you know what? The one name that I was looking to get long at, it was, and I wrote down here 5. So was Siri. Like Siri right now has kind of gone to sleep. There it is at 5.15. So yesterday on Fisker, we had a great trade as well on Fisker yesterday, but that one went to sleep, so we couldn't do much. This is a similar name here. Siri, I like it. It's a Warren Buffett name. It's Berkshire. You know.
They now own it, but.
Yeah, they own.
Can we call it a Warren Buffett name just because he happens to own it? I think of Warren Buffett names as the ones he's been in forever, or things that they buy a bunch of. Like Oxy is now a Warren Buffett name. Like I don't know after we first bought it, was it
the reason why we're looking at it.
I'm so curious.
Position.
You know what? When they do those because he does a fantastic deep dive oftentimes in terms of why he'll own something. If you hear like their investor day and whatnot, and I'm curious to hear the one for Siri. That's all. I guarantee you this much, I'm probably the only person in this entire floor who has Sirius Satellite Radio. I'd almost be willing to bet money no one else does, because I don't think a lot of people use it. I happen to like a few channels on it, so I still use it, and I got a nice free 6 months out of them, or sorry, a full year when it was supposed to be 6 months, so I love you guys. But a couple of things, I did just get out, third time not a charm, on Rivian, although it's a very tight stop. Sometimes I would give this to VWAP, but, I mean, come on, the support was here. So why hold it to VWAP? I'm just going to get out. The third time doesn't give you the bounce that I want. I am into meta. Come on, chart. Okay, that wicks back. So we're into meta. I actually got double filled, so punched up somewhat flat when I got double filled. But right into this channel, which is held more or less since 12:30. So if this channel breaks, then we get out. Easy peasy. Hadar saying short, affirm. If it's at 27, yes. If it's not, no. So I was short here on a firm to there, got out. I want 27. I'm not really seeing much of an entry for a firm. Now we mentioned Amazon potentially. That would look pretty good.
Like a firm.
There we go. Amazon 144, VWAP, like a play in there looks pretty decent. I got Meta at a similar type level as well. And I want Intel, but my goodness, Intel refuses to dip by. Or dip, sorry. It refuses to dip. It's right back up at the high of the day, and that 41 stands out on the daily chart for resistance. If you look at the channel, next dip, I guess it's got to be 50s and 60s. It might just be like more like 20-cent scalps on Intel, up 3.5% today. Like this is definitely the big one. Comp SRX, can I help with what, brother? Let me know. Can you help get a firm to 27 if you want to? That's up to you. Yeah, I just think like 27 is the big level on the daily. Like September 2022, it just made a rejection of 27 last week, and then he had a 27 rejection today. So I think that's a big level. If it gets back up there, that's where I'd put the short on.
Yeah, firm is actually a long right now, so it's up to you guys. I think this is a pretty solid long and a pretty easy one as well, down here near 26. So if you want to withstand 20 cents of pain, I think you can get this one short, and I think you would like it. So a firm, I think it's a short, a long right here at 26. So. There it goes, nicely done to the upside. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. I'm debating right now Google. So we bought this dip. Like I said, sleepy time right there, was not here. Should have, I wasn't sleeping, but should have had that. Nice move to the upside right there. Probably worth getting out. So we don't need everything to do this, right? We don't need everything. We have them all the time. So let's not worry about dollar clubs, although this name is pretty good. It's in the money 90 cents. What we're looking for is an area to get out, right? So the market is still underneath VWAP. I still really like it. And by the way, that Microsoft trade that we were taking $1 on, our risk is 25 cents. You can see we're short at 370.25. The reason why I bring this up is my stop is right here at 370.50, right? So we talked about the risk and reward ratio on that trade. So we're going to wait to see if it comes back up and reshort it again against that level. So watch out for potential reshort again. All right, so we just talked about taking some profit on Google, and of course the thing drops about 20 cents. So let's do that right now. 134, damn you, Google. Like, I still have more shares in Microsoft, so if the market goes one way, that's fine. I would prefer it to go down. But we should have hit that. 134.55 on Google. Okay, let's put that order out right now. 134.55 there on Google. We'll see if we can get that fill and then get the heck out of that if we can for a nice one. And again, like I said, we're just trading support, resistance, relative strength, relative weakness. So Google today is up. So just close your eyes, up against the market, right? So which position would I be in? Long. So right there, so there's the long. Find your levels, hit it, be confident in it, then look for areas to get out. The first time, you know, because we're putting on lots of shares, when it comes down and comes back up, we're just taking them out and then holding some. So we already held some right there for a nice trade, and then we held them again for another trade. So we'll wait to see if we can get it back up to the upside right now, but so far so good. And Microsoft withstood VWAP there at 370.05s. Or whatever it is, yeah, 370.08. So we're not going short yet. We're going short up here in the 20s or 30s against 50. Not too much time left. We're now entering power hour. And we've been doing quite well today. So all is well here. We'll just wait with what we have, waiting for Google, Microsoft, and then Micron. And I honestly think we should get back into Palantir at some point. But look at this. I mean, it's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
So 70s.
But look at the channel it's in. Like if it retakes 20, that actually doesn't look that bad because it's the longer it consolidates. The thing about a consolidation is you got to figure the longer it sits there, the more bets are being placed that it goes one way or another. So a breakout in either direction can be good for a day trader. That's one of the things we look at. I was just asked if, like, do I want to get back into SoFi? I mean, in a general sense, yes, but at these levels, I can't really see a good reason. I mean, it's at VWAP. I would suppose. See, this sets up better than it's trading right now. This is a 2-cent range for a half an hour. So yes, double bottom holds VWAP, but nothing is happening. That's the downside of taking the trade here. Like, I don't know what's going to cause it to move. I was just because of looking at a firm just now. I was checking out Upstart. Because looking at some of those squeeze-ish type names, higher, low, up 4% of the day, this just reclaimed VWAP. Now it's starting to go here. So I want to get, like I look at this breaking out from VWAP in here, like first available dip. Just give me a little something going back into VWAP on Upstart. Again, it is strong on the day. The other thing about it is it just did a huge rejection at 20. It's got a decent size short flow, which again, you don't have to trade things long because they have short floats, but when they get going, they tend to be good. Because shorts have to cut, like just all that good stuff. So you are retaking 26. There hasn't been a red candle in this stock since 1 o'clock on the 15-minute chart. So it's all kinds of trend to the upside. When it comes to Upstart, trend to the upside on Upstart, you know how I roll. I'm in that meta. We want to get some out if it gets to 332.5. So that'll be at that 1-to-1 spot. Then if it gets down to 332, make a judgment call. Prania, Intel just continues to impress. Here's my biggest issue with long in the top on Intel has been on the daily how well this is held. And this has been my guide. Like when it's gotten to these bottoms, I'm not looking short. I'm thinking long on the daily when it's held this channel for the entire year, and it is at the top of the channel or getting very close to the top of the channel. Yes, it has a chance to wick through and still reject, but I mean, you guys tell me. Like, you respect something like this, I want long at the bottoms. I know this is a daily chart, obviously, but when it gets to that top, I'm generally thinking it can be a short. There goes Upstart. I was just able to get some Upstart, so I'll go back to. I'll revisit that another time when we can talk about it a bit more. But yeah, just got a little bit of a dip here in Upstart. Didn't want to pay up at 50s, so grab it in the 30s here if we're going to start giving it back into VWAP. Again, just a relatively strong name, which was stair-step to the upside. And then you've got some clear consolidation support here over on Upstart. So we're into that long. Meta short hasn't really given me anything to get out of yet. It's about 30 cents in the money. I'm looking for it to get close to that 50-cent level. Then we're going to start taking it out. DJK, Upstart junk, use stops. I don't trade much of anything without a stop. Like, if I put it along in here, I'm either stop. If it was all day, maybe I'd consider stopping it under there, or I'm going to stop it out underneath this support or underneath VWAP. Like, I'm always having a hard stop in a trade. I like to have an area that I like for that stop on the way back in. And especially true, like I said, I trade with stops on pretty much everything, but especially true on a name like an Upstart or an Affirm or I don't know. Like, you guys can come up with some other names that you want some stops on. Very quickly, yeah, I should have done it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But like Coinbase, like, it's not going anywhere, but that's another lower high it's putting in. This might be forming a bit of a retracement trend here on Coin. But yeah, some things are coming back in. Like, Tesla just dropped a good part of $1. I just had that trade up there. Devontae, I just went over SoFi. It's not really moving. I don't know what to tell you. It's been a good stock off the double bottom, but here I wouldn't know what to do with that trade except try to take 5 cents on it. And even then, the range is 3 cents in the last half an hour. So like, you could probably rebate trade it or something like that. The way SoFi's been trading, I just don't see that much opportunity there anymore. It was good this morning.
Yeah, you have to. That's exactly it. You have to trade stocks that are moving around. We just did short right here. Again, Microsoft. That's the trade that we talked about. It was a 30, I think. Yeah, we got 30, so it's 10 cents in the money. I was actually debating taking some right. Okay, we got 17s there. So let's see what happens, or 18s. Let's see what happens now. There it comes. Okay, we got 15s. Now we're getting some more out here as it just comes back down. All we're really doing right now, guys, is giving you
another one.
And then hopefully after that. And at the end of the day, we'll try to barbecue it up. So here it is. Nice moves down there for Microsoft. We just shorted 370.30. And part of this just goes back to like having all these tools in your toolbox, right? It's like, I don't really want to scalp this out right now, but with the market, okay, now the market's coming back down. So here we go again, man. Wow, all right. I don't know what else to do.
Oh my God.
Here's another 30 cents quickly for us on Microsoft. Now remember, man, everybody's going to trade different share sizes, different styles. So make sure that you understand what you're doing as opposed to what I'm doing or what anybody else is doing. So right now, there we go. I'm scalping this out again ahead of 370. So we are now out just on this 20-cent move. We're out of half of them. That's it, right? Like, so again, like I said, We'll just continue to do us. Hopefully this does come back into the downside. That's what we're doing right now. We're out of half of Microsoft. So that's that. Remember what our risk to reward was on this. 25. So our risk on this is 20 cents. We're now in the money 40 cents. So makes sense to be out of half. So that's what, well, we were out of half at 25 cents. But now, as you come back in, now we're really starting to cook back down to the downside. So again, there it is right now. What's up to Jennifer Schultz there? Dimes versus dollars, right. So, I mean, you know, just do what you guys are doing. There's reasons why we're 7-1, 8-1, 10-1, 1-10 some days. You know, so keep in your lane, keep what you're doing, and I really do believe that everything will work out for you. Look at Micron. I mean, here we go again. This is just another name, right? We're long certain names, short other ones. Micron just comes right up to the high of the day there into this level, so we shorted it. We started it a little bit early, took some out, got some more there, put on the big piece at the top, and then downside, right? And so it's just, and here comes Microsoft again. It was just coming back to the upside there, it looked like a little bit. Yeah, see? So again, makes the move down. We're out of half. So now if it goes back up, it's fine. Now we're playing with house money. like I said, Microsoft is infinitely the #1 P&L stock here today. It's not even close. So we're definitely playing with house money here on the short side. We wrote down, and again, have the ability to flip it up. We wrote down here on the sticky note today that we wanted 370 long. Okay, so in the beginning of the day, we wrote down 370 long. Here's a mess, whatever hair I have. You could see right down here, there's 370, there's the long, and there's the out at 371.25, 371.50. Then it came back in. Once we saw this kind of a move, we got long again, then we got out immediately, then we started flipping to the shorts. Since then, we've been all about the short. So it's not all about the base or the treble. It's all about that short. Okay, so here we come back in. Shout out to Megan Trainor. Is that who that was? Thanks, Adara, for that. So Adara confirms Megan Trainor.
I wouldn't have known that.
I did know that. I knew that. I knew that. That was easy.
Megan Trainor actually came, like that name came up at our dinner table the other day because
yeah, she has another one that my kids love.
we had asked, I don't know, Aaron asked Google to play something, and then
Louis Vuitton
if
song.
you know, like like if you ask it to play something, it'll pick something off your playlist or something related to it after that. And so like, something else came up. I'm like, what the heck is this? And she's like, and my wife's like, oh, that's Megan Trainor. I'm like, okay. I had no idea, but. It is what it is. I'm just going to give you meta here for a quick second. The market is slowly rolling over. You're getting about a 15 handle move, but that's this afternoon. So it gets a $0.50 in the money and we take it out. You'll see here, I mentioned this. It's hard to tell, but there's 2 triangles here. I got a double fill. That just comes from me putting 2 orders out when I thought I had 1. So once I realized, like, wait a minute, I just punched out what I didn't want, and then we get some out halfway. We'll get the rest out 332. That is the afternoon range. It is this dollar that Meta is doing. So that's what I'm looking to grab in here. UPST, Upstart just made a little slight bounce. So there's the dip. It just missed getting back up to this. You know what? Fine. If it's going to be, like, just try getting back up to that 50 level. We'll try to take some out there. And if it breaks out, let's shoot for 26.75, like in this range, and then if it gets to 27, kind of all out into that resistance spot. So found a strong stock, the first available dip buy, makes bottom, punch long, or get into the long, and then try to scalp some out on the way back into the upside. It's 3:11. There's still 15 minutes. There's plenty of time in this market. So if something is trending to the upside, give it a chance to continue to go higher. That's what I like about that Upstart trade. It doesn't matter that it has a short float. It happens to. I generally like that. Fisker is a bit of a, I mean, it just dropped a couple of cents, but this might actually have a 2 or 3 cent range for the rest of the day. All the bigger moves happened this morning, but I'm going to give it a chance. It didn't run my stop just there, so we're going to hold on to it as long as we can. Levi asking in the chat where we're located. If you're curious, if you're asking us where we're located, we are in sunny Toronto, Canada. It's cold here. I don't know if it's still sunny, but
yeah, it's 12 degrees. It's
yeah,
actually,
the sun.
It's 13. It's pretty warm today.
The sun was out today, and it's not that bad relative to what it's been recently. So pretty decent weather. I may or may not have some leaves that still need to be raked that I didn't get to yesterday, but it's gymnastics for me tonight, so I'll be indoors. I won't be enjoying any of that good weather tonight. Sucks.
Yeah, I'm at the annual AGM, the annual general meeting for Little League tonight, as of course I coach the rep team and coach house league teams as well for Little League, and it never stops when you are dad life, and it also never stops when you are trader life right now. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Like, look, I don't know how we come up with these trades, we just do it. There it is, Microsoft again. Like, I mean, on the midday show, you talk about risk to reward. I heard them talk about that today, the ratios and things like that. Well, here's a perfect example. This was 20 cents worth of risk, now in the money 60. So this is 3-to-1 right there on this trade for Softy. We actually got a fill at 80s. 75 or 80? 80 clean. We're just bouncing now off 62, so maybe we can have a quick look at that one as a possibility there. But this is what it is, man. I mean, I'm not, you're seeing the trades go on live, so hopefully you guys are taking them as well as we wait to see where we go from here. I'm going to bid on I already am bidding 62s. What? How did that miss me there? 369? Probably went to 65. Okay, so we're bidding 62s. Hopefully that'll come back in there off that bottom. So that's what that is right now. Google, again, we talked about trying to get out that level. We missed it, so we don't. Yeah, what else is?
Coin just wicked 100 again.
Oh, Coinbase, huh?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't mind that stock at all. We can have a look at Coinbase. That Affirm, let's double check that call here. We did not go long, but remember, we called this long down here at 26 flat. It just pushed back into 26.05. So there's another one that's barbecued up right there. We talked about AMD early that we gave that I didn't take. Here's another trade that we didn't take, Affirm. So there it was. We gave it. I should have put my own bid there. It was whatever. It doesn't matter. You miss some trades. You miss some trades. But we're gonna be fine, man. So let's just keep on watching what we're doing now. DraftKings, something about this. Yeah, I know, Adam Deleuze. What's up, man? We're cruising today, man. There is no doubt about that. So Marissa called me. She got her lashes and eyebrows done. You know what? Check. Paid for right here. Thank you, Microsoft, for that one. But after that, we'll just have to wait now for something else to hit. So if anybody, no. Oh, Adam's asking, did I talk about AMD? No. Well, I mean, we covered it. We covered it here.
Well, in the rundown.
Oh, in the rundown? Yeah,
rundown.
yeah, we did. But Adam was here all midday hearing us all talk about it. It's missing that bottom, Adam. That was really the key. And again, you know, what are you going to do? I got out there. I didn't have any on board. That definitely, I don't think I would have gone long down there at 117. We'll look at that tomorrow, of course. But, you know, for now, there's that. The one thing that you might have missed was GBTC. I was talking about it. Punching in, punching out, just doing a whole bunch of nothing on this stock right here today. It did make that move up to 60. But we'll wait to see. Bitcoin is coming back down a little bit right here. I do have here.
Is it really? Because coin is strong as hell.
No, it is coming down. It's 30. Well, coming down. Come on, chart. All right. Well, I don't know if this Yahoo chart wants to load. Come on, Yahoo chart. Yeah, if you have a chart of Bitcoin, I don't. What?
Hang on. You know what? This is because of you guys. I have my trading view chart up at all times on Bitcoin because that's been very reliable. Yeah, on the 15-minute.
Oh, no, it's not coming down.
Yeah, it's trying to retest the high here. I was going to say, because Coinbase is running at 100. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Because the second you said that, I'm like, if Coinbase breaks 100 again when Bitcoin was going down, I'd be surprised. But it is pretty strong. Heading into a local high here at 37.85. 850, sorry, 850, 37.850 on BTC. That's a 15-minute chart I just happened to have up. I used to use Binance and my Binance chart. I don't know how many times you saw me go pull up my Binance chart and watched it not load properly live for you guys. So shout out to everyone that said use that one. So yeah, you're breaking a break into that 100 level. I'm not taking it this time. The short trade, I feel like that's already come and gone here on Coin. I will reload Meta if it gives me the opportunity to. Might have just missed that. Actually, might have just missed the opportunity on Meta there for the reload. I was sitting on the offer tight to this local high. This wick keeps on coming back. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to get back in here if we can get that 33. And then the only long I have is that upstart just because of the trend that it has going. This is a bit against the grain of the market because the market is ever so slowly, the NASDAQ is ever so slowly going down right now. And when I say slowly, there's 4 consecutive red candles on the 15-minute in a 25 handle range, which is emblematic of, that's still a NASDAQ stock, Neil, emblematic of what this market does in the afternoons at times. And you want to make sure, 2 things. One, you want to make sure you're not fighting something, like go with the trend, but wait till you get a good entry price when the market's not going to move as much. So not chasing the high on a trend, like look for the dip on a strong stock. That's what's happening over there in Upstart. But as far as the NASDAQ goes, this is it. Like it is a very slight, for an hour, I mean, this is a 15-minute, so this is for the last hour. You are solidly back in, favoring the short, just not that much. In an overall uptrend since lunchtime, this is not much of a pullback, so make sure you get a good price entry somewhere. The handle range, there's a couple of wicks in here, so it's going to make it seem like it's a 40 handle range on the NASDAQ since we came on at best, but those are, like the bulk of this volume is happening in a 20 handle range on the NASDAQ. And again, they're just points. It's just a habit calling them handles. I don't know if that's still a common thing. I feel like that's still a common thing to call futures points handles, that's all.
Yep, I think so too.
It's because we used to listen to a squawk.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, like before the show, like years ago, like there was a there was like a squawk of a guy on the floor in Chicago, and he would be like reading out the quotes when we were on the trading floor 20 years ago, and you got used to it. He'd say like, I'm not going to try to do an impression of it, but imagine like an auction happening live, and he's calling out futures levels all the time. It was wild. My only thing with that is sometimes he'd be hyped when nothing was happening, and it'd get you hyped too. Like, oh my God, the futures are moving, when they weren't really. It was just him kind of talking fast. So we eventually stopped listening to it, that's all.
Yeah. I just listened to the demons in my own head right now. Look at that. Oh, by the way, awesome. We just got another piece out there at 80. We just talked about, or 83 or something like that on Microsoft. So now we only have 30% left on this trade. And again, another, like just reloading it. Adam, you might have missed this one, Mr. Deleuze. That's $1. So we put on that. That's $1. That's $1. That's 70 cents. And we're waiting for more on this one. Google still. Oh, yeah. And then if you are wondering where we're going to get it at Google, I do have an offer at 55. So we're getting close to getting that trade out. That's from here. Should have had that. We weren't here. We talked about that, but right into there, 55. Let's go again to see if we can get anything. Just a quick check to see if Siri's moving. Probably not. We're like not really chill right now. It's not doing anything. We're just really chill right now. Like we're.
Shout out to Dan Emmons.
Yeah, what's up, Dan?
No, he just said I guess you listened to Ben Lichtenstein too.
Yep.
That was the guy. It was Ben Lichtenstein. I actually didn't remember the name until you just put it in there. But yeah, I think a lot of trading floors were listening to that same feed, whether you traded the futures or not. That's what everyone did. I did finally get the 333 reload on Meta, so we're back into Meta off essentially the same level. I thought Amazon would be giving you this same trade, but maybe closer to 144. Amazon's it's just as tight of a range up here. So you kind of pick your poison. This is 30. There's 30 cents on Amazon, 143.80. So whatever you're trading, this is what you're trying to grab here. If you can't find a trending stock, John McDonald. Oh, I mentioned this morning, but I didn't this afternoon. Okay, Argo is a buyout for $30 in cash. This is what it looks like on the day. That is 30. That is $29.99. Use your imagination as to I'm taking spread on this stock. And I'm still short, like I'm short at 30 and I'm bidding at 29. Again, it has not moved. The deal's actually closing today. It's supposed to be closing today. So that is ARGO. I don't think I'll mention it, but I might be in this right until the close, like right up until 4 o'clock. I might just get on the bid in the auction or something and take the fill if it prints that bid. But I don't think it's not going to print. It's very, very unlikely to print higher than 30 is what I'm getting at. I should never say never because it has happened.
All right, we're going to retweet this. We actually already retweeted this earlier today. Thanks to Dara, just showed it to me right now. But I put this on. I think it was from this morning. But here's Warren Buffett. You're not going to see. I mean, we've already talked about all of these positions coming through again. So this is more important. So Apple position increase, right? Remember it was 48. Now it's over 50%. Bank of America there, 9, 7 for AXP, 7 for Coke, 6 Chevron, Oxy 4. These are just percentages of his portfolio. Kraft, Moody's, everything else 10%. So like, I mean, what kind of a, honestly, I mean, come on, you know, this guy's the legend, but like half of your portfolio was in one name. You know, that's not great diversification. But having everything else in there, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, if we've watched where Apple's gone in the last 20 years, you know, you can understand why this is now 50% of his allocation because he was in it early. Like I started buying Apple probably, like I remember when I got the first iPhone, I remember walking down Bloor Street, I had it, and I was a shareholder then. So Apple right now is Apple 15, I think it is right now. So at least for 15 years, we've been holding the stock and buying it every single year as well. Taking the dividends, which isn't that much, putting it into the drip as well. So it's been really, really good. And that's sort of what's been happening here with Mr. Warren Buffett and his positions. So just a little something there that I wanted to talk about because we were just talking about Sirius Satellite Radio and things like that. And yeah, it is a little strange why he's in that. And remember about Sirius, the thing about that is, I'll call it up. Oh, here it is right here. Was that it doesn't have any catalyst that I know of other than the fact that it's 30% short float. So we've traded this on the show before. By the way, Microsoft's back down below 370 again, which is great. But there it is right there, 29%. So it was one of the top, I mean, it was my #1 name on the sticky note, and we almost got it. But we were bidding right down here at like 510, 515. So when it came in there, it did bump back up and got to 535 or so. Since then, it's really just been doing nothing all afternoon and just kind of these moves. This is not, you could go long here, but look at the stock. There's a lot of size. So to get through these levels is just going to be one of those things. It's not doing enough to really scalp out, you know. So I'm going to stay away. But if it did drop into $5, then that's something that we want to look at there, because you do have, again, you do have the level here on the daily. Oopsies, damn it. You do have the level on the daily. If you close the chart, it's going to take a second. I don't know what the reason is,
What's
but
the short float on that?
Yeah, 28. So that's what I was saying, that was the one catalyst. Oh, that's Apple. Hold on, refresh this. Why I put Sirius on, I shouldn't say, hey Siri. Let's see if that works. Yep. Okay, so right there, $5 was the level of concern for me. So that's why that went on the sticky note, and it just didn't give it back into us there. So we'll wait for this tomorrow. This could be a good day 2 play here for Siri, and we'll wait to see if that does come through. But for right now, kind of muted. And by the way, like Microsoft, we're still here, baby. I mean, we still got 30% of this trade, and there it is again, another pretty good banger for you. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Hit the like and the subscribe. I just heard her opening food behind us, so let's go right now.
Hola.
It was a crinkle.
Like and subscribe today.
Yeah, what are you eating there?
It was a nice little crinkle.
What are you eating there, Kat?
There you go.
What is that? Oh, a little donut?
Is that like chocolate glazed? Chocolate glazed. Where'd you get the chocolate glazed donut? Oh,
it's a Timbit or something.
No, I don't. Sometimes they have pastries around here, and like you can save the pastry from the morning. They've just never had chocolate glazed donuts before. Like I would be
right.
Like if there were chocolate glazed donuts with the morning pastries, and I didn't get one, I'd be like, what am I doing? I'm here when it comes. So they don't do donuts anymore. The caterer. They used to have those mini. Whatever, they don't do them anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But Meta's starting to come back into the downside. I like pastries, everybody knows it. Let's just get that out of the way. I know myself very well, and I'm a pastry-loving person. As the NASDAQ continues its slow plunge to the downside, I'm again taking some out of Meta on the way to what I think is the same range back and forth. I'll respect the fact that it put in a higher low last time. So it's another higher low off of this 330 bottom. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned this before. This low on Meta, 330 on a dime. Like it's 330.02 on Meta. And if you remember on the daily, this was like a previous support level going to yesterday, but on the daily chart, that is the double top. The double top on the daily in Meta is today's support level. So, I mean, when in doubt, zoom out. First of all, whether you see it or not, I'm slapping a fail on this for myself, because when you see a strong stock pull back into a monster resistance level and you're looking for a bottom on it, well, look at the wipeout bottom at about 118, right off that 330 level. It's a big level on the daily. I'm not saying you're just going to be sitting in front of it, but after it bounces back up, like you could be long here at 300.5. 50-cent stop, it goes all the way to 333. Monster support levels, or monster resistance levels when a stock breaks out. On the way back in, I'm looking for support. That's what I wanted for Pinduoduo today. If you had that same approach on Meta, that's how you can catch a bottom. It's about doing the work, and well, you can do the work, but you actually have to go back and then look at the stock in the middle of the day as it's moving, and then zoom out the chart and notice that it's happening. I knew about 330 on Meta. I just was not looking for that on the way back in. Maybe we retest it today, or maybe we retest it tomorrow, but I do like that long at 330 on Meta. As we are getting back into the downside, I got to go over to Upstart. It got to 60s. Now can it hold that last dip price? If it does, then I got to go back to the current high and respect the current top. But we might have to get out of this one as the market's starting to accelerate to the downside. So it breaks out the local level. My stop goes from here into here. Do that every single time. If you're chasing a stair step to the upside, then when it takes out the next stair, the stop moves up for me. It's always that simple. Like it breaks out this local high on the dip. Once that happens, stop goes from here to here, because you already had a move. So you've had a bit of that move, and if you're scalping, you take some out and then move the stop. NVIDIA, this could be a bit of the reason why you're getting some acceleration. NVIDIA got to VWAP, and it's starting to roll back over here. Down 2%. I want to say it's one of the weaker names of the big cap tech. I know Amazon's having a bad day, but I feel as if this is the worst one, close to 2%. I don't think anything. I'm like 99% sure that none of the other big cap tech names are having a worse day than NVIDIA. So if this starts accelerating, you want to hold on to your shorts and cover your longs in related tech names.
Yeah, the only one that's worse than that is AMD. About the same sector, so yeah, 100% right about that. We were bidding Microsoft 55s, it got to 57. So I was sitting here watching, I was like, I could change my bid, but we didn't. And it just came right in there into 57. So that was something right there that we could have, like, look, you can see we were bidding 55s. We talked about that. Hopefully it comes back in. Now I'm bidding 60s. So we'll see if we can get that filled. All right, we talk about making money. Let's see who made the most money yesterday here on Day Trade the World. Let's go over here and compare your profits. So again, there's about 3,000 traders, maybe a little bit less than that in live mode right now. We're gonna go, I'll show you this right here. Here's the top 10 traders. So if you are part of Day Trade the World universe, you can get that on tip right there. Somebody yesterday, good day. $25,000 made yesterday. Yeah, join me tonight. Actually, we do review these on the show tonight as well, but we'll just continue to watch it. Yesterday in Canada, someone made $9,500, $8,500 again in the NASDAQ. A couple. This is nice.
Oh my God.
Hong Kong. Shout out to some of my friends over there. Across the pond normally means LSE and stuff like that, but shout out to those of you trading the Hong Kong market as well. And then some of our European friends, Luis and everybody else, he trades the Barcelona office. I don't know, I'm not saying that this is him.
Hey, Madrid's down there too.
Here we go in Canada. There's Madrid again. So what I was getting at was, like, no matter the time you're in, come over to Day Trade the World, the time zone, and there's a lot of markets here available for you. So get your Day Trade the World going immediately right now, and then that's it. So then it goes by averages and things like that. So this is a big one. I don't know who that was, but congratulations to you. And then Canada, NASDAQ, so on and so forth, all the way down. So it's funny because, like, so 9 and 10 are always meant to be markets that we can highlight to other traders. So I don't know why that's a 0. I should probably show that to Juan.
Because they're probably trying to put a market in that nobody traded yesterday.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake.
My understanding is it's like, they put in Madrid, Turkey, because relatively newer market, Turkey and Europe that we've had.
It's just the oddball markets, but that should be like OTC markets or Brazil.
But it's possible no one, if let's say it's Australia and no one traded Australia, then it's like, that's my guess. I'm just guessing at that.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't actually know.
Good day for some guys.
But one of the things about Day Trade the World that is cool is that there's offices worldwide, and there's offices that can be like 24 hours. I mean, effectively 24 hours, where you're trading. You could trade Europe, and you go from Europe, and then you trade Asia, and then you trade the U.S. markets and anything in between. You got the futures. There's even Forex. You can trade Forex here as well. You don't see us do it. We're not really Forex traders. There was one on the floor a while back, but a bit of a different thing about Forex is that Day Trade the World, the advantage is getting, as a day trader, a prop trader, the capitalization that you can have is different than in retail, whereas in Forex, like, anybody can get really good capitalization for Forex. It's not that hard to get good buying power in Forex, so the advantage isn't the same thing. I'm out of Upstart. We talked about moving the stop to just underneath break even. That's right over here, so it's back into VWAP. Maybe it bounces off VWAP, or better yet, the 26 level. If it gets underneath and holds 26, I think that's a little bit more interesting for me. But Upstart, pretty strong on the day. I wouldn't be adverse to it getting back underneath VWAP and taking a 26 out. It is 330. Did you mention the imbalance?
I did not.
The imbalance, early look, is 36 million to buy. That is obviously very small. So just nothing in terms of the imbalance. We got some out meta, but it's running right back into the top. I don't know if the third time is going to be a charm. The difference here is takes a while to get to the bottom, right back in. It is bouncing fast. So each time it's bounced off this higher low, it's bouncing faster each time. So I don't know if I want to be reloading this going into the close. I'll just stop out locally here. Not take a third trade on it, but just get out the last that we have and have a hard stop on it. Fisker, I don't know if that's going to move, but if it does, it does. There was a question about Southwest that I answered in the chat. Is it breaking out on the daily? like for caveat, I don't like the airlines, so I don't want to be biased about it. Yes, on the daily chart, it technically is breaking out, right? Like it made a bottom, it made a higher low, and once it made the higher low, it just today broke out this top at about 24.5. So that would be a local breakout. You still have 25 is a big psychological level, and the 200 periods at 26. So I would, and try not to be biased, but I would say that there's still some serious resistance on Southwest, but it wouldn't take much given what's happened to the stock. It got cut in half, and that's just looking at July. Like from July, it got cut in half. So even a muted bounce is pretty darn good for this name. And then the really big resistance I would think would be if it gets back up to like $28. That low that held for quite some time. But the daily chart, it's not a good one. But it's like a little local breakout at the bottom. I would tend to agree with that. It just has a lot of work to do to reverse the trend. This is not a trend reversal. It's a little breakout on maybe like a 15-minute time frame or just a lower time frame. But the trend, I would say, is still intact here.
All right. Yeah, the reason why I said that there in the chat, Arun was here a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he said it. He hadn't traded in 4 or 5 months. So if that was a month ago, 6 or 7 months right now for him not trading. And so obviously if you saw on that board CME or something, that's all that he trades, right? And so, yeah, that's, anyways, I don't know. You can, if he's ever comes back on the show, you can ask him why he's not trading anymore. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, to not trade in this market, I mean, this has been a wild ride. I mean, 11 or 12 straight days to the upside. So yeah, probably, especially futures traders, probably banking right now, or at least playing some of these moves. Again, everybody trades their own. Some traders trade better in slow markets. Some traders trade better in extremely volatile markets. And that's why we're showing you many different, I hope so anyways, many different styles on the show and many different things to talk about. Because we talked about like what kind of a month this has been and whatnot. So far, I've only traded, this is my 9th day this month. So I'm 6 and 2. So 6 up days, 2 down days this month. I just checked the statement and that's what it was. So again, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem sharing that with you, but I won't. I'm only, like, I won't share Neil, I won't share anybody else. The reason why I talked about that with Arun is because he was here and he discussed that.
Well, I talked to him still. He swing trades his account. He doesn't like the day trading
he doesn't
setup
prop
for the
trade
futures, right? So like the day-to-day day trading for his style, he's like, he doesn't like it. He still swing trades the futures. He was on vacation before that. He came back from his vacation I don't remember exactly.
He was here
a few months ago. Yeah, he came back. He was on the floor. We were talking to him, but since then he's only swing trading future. So I don't know if he's still in.
Yeah, he hasn't made any trades with day trade.
I don't know if he's still in his swing. You'd have to ask him if you can find him somewhere. But he did have a few swing trades on that. I think he talked about the last time we were here, and we passed it on to you guys. What else? There's something else. Shoot. What was
exactly, Ben. You see?
What was I going to get to? Whatever. I don't know. There's something else I was going to get to. Shoot. No, it was Meta. There we go. I said I wasn't going to reload Meta the 3rd time. There it is. It broke that local high, so I'm out of it. It's just that simple. Like, it gave you a bit of a range. It's breaking to the upside. I suppose if I liked the long, I'd be thinking reversal, but I don't necessarily like the long. Meta has not been very strong. You can see that. It hasn't been very strong all day. I think the 330 level looks pretty good, especially for tomorrow.
What's area code 506? They're trying to phone me right now.
Zero
area code
clue.
506.
It doesn't ring a bell at all.
Let me see. Oh, New Brunswick. Interesting. All right, so another scam. We get all these scams
You never know, man.
No, it is. I've got those before from New Brunswick.
Or
like, oh, hey.
Or you could answer it live. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like, hey, sometimes they go back and forth. They go, oh, are you Mandarin speaking? And I'm just like, hang up. It's like, come on. Yeah, you're phoning me. All right, so we'll.
See,
wait.
I would at least mess with them for that question alone. I'd say, well, if they call me today, I'd feel like, well, only on the weekends I speak Mandarin. So
yeah,
sorry.
that would be good. That would be good.
But then I'd still hang up after that. I would just give them the joke first, then I would just hang up on them. But at least try to make the joke.
Yeah.
Brighten his day a little bit, or him or her. I don't know.
Him or her. Yeah, they. Same
thing.
Okay, so we. That sucks that we missed this. Literally, we have 30% left. We may get stopped out of this. Is what it is, as we keep on saying. I can't, you can't control hits sometimes. And this is not a hit. This is, Microsoft is the #1 stock here. I have no problem with it. It's been absolutely fantastic. We missed that by 2 cents. or 1 cent. I don't even know what, and it's so stupid. I should have just punched out, but we didn't. I didn't want to punch out because I didn't want to get double filled and then I'd feel bad. But we have Cisco coming up after, and we have Palo Alto. Palo Alto's been a stock. Like I said, I've been managing my portfolio for 25 years. That's how old I am, actually. And the thing is that we've been buying Palo Alto all the time. And I mean, I got to shout out to Jim Cramer for this one because I don't know that much about cybersecurity, but this was one of and is the leader in the space. I mean, Cisco coming tonight as well. This was taking from Kramer best of breed. So I'm long Pan W, like, I don't even know what price. I can double check later. It's like when I got it at Tesla and I looked down and it was like 2,800% in the money. It's like when you look at your broker statement, you're like, what? But it doesn't matter. Like I wish it was on $100,000 or something. But a lot of us have those. If you've been trading tech,
well, owning tech,
or even owning it, or even trading it in and out, and sticking to the long side, I guess, is the most important.
Because you could be trading it in.
You could be trading it and losing.
If you were shorting tech, trading it over the long run, you've been losing, obviously.
Right. Right. Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. Investing, like, trading in and out of it. Anyways, like I just sold some Nvidia. Not a good call at 465. We talked about that, but we did buy, like we bought Oracle at 104. We bought Amazon, and this is in front of we talked about this on the show. It did go down into 100. Remember that one day? And I was like, I don't know. This old tech maybe is not new tech anymore. But Oracle, look at that. There's the 100. That's too bad. But down there, we bought it off, what was it, that earnings? It went all the way to the downside. Remember, we missed it the first time and then got it the next time. And so that was making the move all the way to the upside. Like Amazon, this is another name. Like I remember buying Amazon at $100 and being like, the guy, his name is Peter. He's a really tall, huge guy, doesn't work here anymore. But he's like, what are you doing buying this stuff? Well, it's since split and everything, and now is 143. The same thing with NVIDIA.
Peter didn't like buying Amazon?
It's not about price targets or anything like that. It's about trading the right names. Like, I mean, Amazon's had a crazy PE forever. And so it's just about trading it, owning names for reasons, and seeing what...
He's a good poker player, though, Peter.
Yeah, he's good at a lot of things, I think. Like, some person that's good at pretty much everything is Brendan Wickens.
Aw, shucks, Sean. So are you. Cars in New York, CARS. This was the one, we were talking about it, I think, on Monday. Tesla is selling new vehicles, quietly started selling new vehicles on cars.com. Anyway, a takeover note just being circulated right now, so volume coming into cars. Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
So I will tell you this: being when you day trade, you're out of your positions at the end of the day. So from now on, after 3:30, if there is a stock that has deal speculation on it, I'm not trading it, because the last one I did, oddly enough, was Spirit Airlines. We were just talking about Southwest, but it was Spirit Airlines. There was deal speculation. It was going crazy in the afternoon. It was like, bang, you're in and out, all that good stuff. Then they halted the stock overnight and held overnight and lost $1 and change, something that was like $1 and change. Because there's no out. Like, your stop doesn't matter. Like, you could be trading the stop with a 10 or 15 cent stop, and then it halts, and then you're holding it overnight, and the stock that you thought you were risking 10 to 15 cents on, you're losing $1 on, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So, I mean, cars, it's a decent volume spike. It's done less than 300,000 shares on the day, just to give you a little bit of a caveat. And Monty, you got to write Dada. That's Brennan. I don't have the key. I thought you'd hit it after I said it. Always bringing us alive.
Gotcha.
I don't know why I don't have that key. I saw a couple of times in the chat, Steve just mentioned Hut 8 had news today. Did it?
Brendan actually did. Actually, Brendan, I think, had a nice call on that one. He sold that a couple weeks ago, I think, Hut 8. I don't know.
Was there news today? Or, I mean, everything's up in crypto.
Was it not good, Brendan?
Everything's up in crypto today, so I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Everything is up. This is up 9%. Riot's up today. Yeah. Coinbase is up today. So this is just up what the market's up. I don't know if there's any specific news.
I don't know either. But, well, it's because of the altcoins. That's all they do is mine and convert it over into BTC and stuff like that.
Doesn't look like much.
Yeah, I actually checked. I shouldn't do this, but I did check the crypto account for the first time in a very, very long time, and obviously was pleasantly surprised, as I've got Solana, Cardano, everything like that, as you guys know, some of the altcoins, XRP as well. And then as far as Bitcoins are concerned and things like that, I own like the equivalents BTCC.B
Yeah, that's
in T dot. So this is just another all-purpose Bitcoin ETF. It was one of the very first ones that was brought to market, believe it or not. It was with GBTC, and it was over here on the Canadian market. So again, just look at, it's just it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's following Bitcoin, so that's all.
You should explain. So
Similar to GBTC. This
I
is
also
Canadian
own
funds.
this. It's a Canadian thing, but the reason, like, not all of, like, I own Bitcoin and Ether, and that's pretty much it. And 90% of what I own, I then put into like that, because you can put it in like your registered account. So like for us, we have like tax-free savings accounts, and you know you can put it in there. So that's all. Like it's just it's semi-popular in Canada. Like most of the people I know in Canada actually have that. As far as HUD 8, I just saw Steve say it was a reiterate for a buy. The good thing about HUD 8 is look at the obvious. I mean, look at 180, 175, 180 on HUD 8. It just bounced off of this. If you're watching a stock like that, and like this is your baby and this is what you trade or swing it or whatever it might be, like that's what you want. Like you see it bounce. It actually bounced off that yesterday and then opened, and look at it dip right into that support. And it's not just support yesterday, it's support on the daily chart too. If this is your stock or the stock that you trade, doesn't really matter, then that's a golden dip buy. I just don't look at this thing. But that's a great looking dip buy on the daily chart. It's the kind of thing you want to be able to notice. Before we get into 350, the imbalances are coming in. Usually we do this. The early look was nothing on the imbalances. However, individually, there we go. Individually, like Pfizer is a 1.7 buy early look, which isn't insignificant. New, 850,000 to sell. CCL, 750,000 to sell. They're not gigantic, but Pfizer in particular, PFE, having a decent day today. And look, Lilly down, Pfizer up, feels like it's a bit of a theme. And I don't know when the bottom is coming on Pfizer. I do know you got to go to a weekly chart to even observe anything reasonable on Pfizer. You know it's not been going well if you got to go to the weekly to try and find support levels on the stock. But that's the truth on Pfizer. So I have to go to my weekly chart and zoom out and then explain to people like what I like. Because this was, to say that it was low-hanging fruit to buy this one during the pandemic or on pandemic bounces, like that's where I bought it for obvious reasons. We don't need to get into it because I don't want people to get all mad and stuff. But anyways, when it made that bottom in 2020, and then like this is right in here, it wicked down to 28, and then there was a nice hold of this 30, this like 30, 31 area. You are getting right back into that bottom. And on a weekly chart, this is the big level in here. It corresponds with where this stock just bounced. So I don't know that this 29 is going to be the bottom on Pfizer, but it's as good a place as any. And I'm thinking about, I just think it's a bit of value. Like I just recently sold 20% of my Eli Lilly, and I might just keep it in-house in pharma and look to buy this. If we close this week above 30, I think I buy this next week and then just hold on to it. So Pfizer, who knows? I mean, it's pretty nasty on the daily chart, but just to give you what I've been thinking on this name overall, what else we got going on? What are you guys looking at here? Because I'll tell you, like this market is still in the exact same range. Could have gone back to Meta. Whoops, there we go. Could have gone back to Meta. I got out. Was like, yeah, the next level up is going to be if it tests 334 and VWAP. Let's wait for that. And then it just gives the exact same entry. So if you don't stop it out and just hold it a bit against you, or if you do stop it out, you can jump right back into it. It's still playing the same range with higher lows. So let's see if it can bounce off 332.5. But there's only 13 minutes to go. You got to be very particular. Fisker hasn't moved, so I don't really have a choice here. We have to be out by the end of the day. I've already got one bid. I had a bid at the low of the day. Don't think we're going to get that. I'd probably just pop on the bid here. It gets 3 cents in the money. I was risking 3 cents. Obviously, you want more than that, but look at the stock. It was good. Just because it moves in the morning does not mean it will move in the afternoon. That's a good lesson for you. And Fisker is not moving, so I'm just going to get this out. If the imbalance comes out and moves the stock, then that was never part of the plan, so I'm not going to mess with that. Might have to look for something like a post 350 move. And that ERGO, I might just hold that right into the actual close because I seriously doubt it prints above the bio price.
Okay. Meanwhile, we'll just go, oh my God, because
Oh my God.
I changed, man. I went over and I put it, was it an 80 or a 90? Microsoft, 88s, so Eric Lindros. Microsoft just fell back in again. So unfortunately, we didn't get the reload short. Actually, we didn't have a reload short. That's right. It's too late in the day. So that would make sense why we didn't get it. But we would have had it if there was a little more time left. We would have had that reload. We've talked about it over and over again. You're coming up with those imbalances. So I'm basically out of Microsoft. If it tanks, great. I'm going to have some bids there. We had Google tank yesterday into the close. It was fantastic. Look at this Google trade yesterday. Remember we were short Google? I believe it was Google into 350. Let me show you what it did yesterday into the close. There it is. Look at this. Boom, to the downside. So let's see if Microsoft could do something similar. Google lost about $1 there right at the end of the day yesterday. Oh yeah, and by the way, you might be saying, hey, where's Sean's Google? Where did that go? Well, it came out, and there it is right there. We'll do it again. We'll give you another little bit of a barbecue situation. And no matter how you like your barbecue, today it's raining. So there it is, nice out there for Google, long.
I thought you said it was nice out.
It's just raining profits today.
Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful outside. It's 13 degrees.
Yeah, it's like it's nice.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Really nice.
That's 13 degrees Celsius.
Oh, 13 degrees Fahrenheit was.
I don't know what that is. 50? I don't know what it is. Right there. So nice move to the downside in the markets and making us capture some of this profit.
Like 60.
Micron's not doing too much. It's Microsoft right now that is heading to the downside. We're going to wait for that as these imbalances are out very, very shortly. So I'm just going to call them up here and I'm going to go like this. And I haven't looked at these all day. I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to sort it right now. And then we're going to wait because in 5 seconds, you're going to see, hopefully, some fireworks. And hopefully it's to the downside. Look at Softy. Ciao, Bella. That's what we're talking about right there. Let's go. Microsoft now $1 as it tries to go back to the downside. I'm always going to take advantage of that first move. If we can, we'll put a bid right there. Bang, and that's how you're trading. Yesterday we did the same kind of thing. The idea is to stay short. There it is. It's a nice move to the downside. Brendo with the news. No, not yet. We'll get that in a minute. But there's the move down. We're still here, and that's that.
TLT
well
is
done.
the big one.
Yeah, TLT's done there. But hey, man, we will end the day at the highest spot and go 7-2 now this month.
Yeah, TLT 4.2 million to sell. Pfizer didn't come out. I didn't actually see that one. That's just an early look. CCL is 1 million to the sell side. New is also 900,000, exactly as expected. Apple is the big one, 800,000 to sell. Intel 800,000. Remember, Apple's a $190 stock, so obviously that's a bigger deal than Intel's, which always pairs off. There's Pfizer. It's actually only 750,000 to buy. Lucid, that's way too tiny to matter. So it's overall 1 billion to sell. There you go. You saw Apple, that's the biggest one. Oddly enough, Google's a buy imbalance of 500,000. But overall, 1 billion to sell is not huge, and it was Apple and TLT that stood out. I haven't really found any. So every time we've seen TLT, I've kind of like filed it away and just looked at it and see if there was a trade. There hasn't really been much of a trade specifically on TLT in that final 10 minutes when it shows up gigantic. So, you know, if there was a way to leverage that information to trade TLT, I think, you know, we'd probably be looking at it. But it tends to, like when there's a big sell imbalance in general, then TLT ends up being like a sell imbalance. It just doesn't really give you much of a trade. I'm getting out on the bid of that Argo, so I might not have to hold it at all because it's not likely going to print more than the 1 cent. So I'm just capturing that spread. But the market is pulling back, not huge. I just saw Bull Shark Trader saying AMD's going up. I mean, yeah, a little bit. Not much, but again, the imbalances weren't much of anything. So I call that not much of a move at 350. When I see something going up at the close on the imbalances, I'm expecting like it's tested VWAP, went like 50, 60 cents. But that is not much of a bid for what is one of the weaker stocks of the day. AMD down 1.7%. NVIDIA probably overtook it, I'm going to assume. I just got that bid. Oh, no. They're about the same, 1.6. So that's also going sideways. Not the best day for the chips unless your name was Intel or ARM. And ARM, it was, now I forget who it was that disclosed a stake in ARM. It was Soros and somebody else. So Soros Fund and somebody else disclosing a stake in ARM, 3.5% to the upside.
Tiger Global.
Tiger Global, that's the one. Just remember on the daily, you don't have a lot of levels on ARM, but 56 is definitely one of them. You can see the resistance. Since it broke this level, it's had all kinds of trouble breaking through. Same channel. Maybe this breaks tomorrow. I don't know. Like, there was a top made in pretty much every semi with the exception of, well, and then a reversal with the exception of this in Intel. If this were to break it out tomorrow, I would not be surprised. I like to short at that level. We're in it, but I'm not touching this. I might not short it the next time through tomorrow. I might be thinking about a breakout to the upside, especially if the market can get going again. ARM, a lot of people were waiting for them to report, I think, to kind of suss things out, figure out, okay, well, how are they really doing, and do I like the entry? Well, they've reported, and the stock has bounced and made higher lows after the report. So take it for what it is. I might think it's overvalued, but it doesn't mean it can't trend to the upside after earnings.
Y Brothers, thank you again for the kind words. And yeah, we do have to be flat at 4 o'clock. So I have to be flat at 4 o'clock as we trade on props. So I just got out of Micron again. Good trade, like it, all good on that one. We are at the highest spot we've been at all day. And I just tweeted out, it was a great day today. I don't have time or else I would say all the symbols. We talked about how we've been trading and sort of the successes there. So it's been a good one. I'm just waiting for 355. And then at that point, we'll get the flip up here on these, whoops, where is it? There it is, on these imbalances. So it's just a pairing moment. So at 355, NASDAQ will update any of these. It's real time, but they'll get a bigger update there as you're going to see some of these start to pair off. Like Apple was a sell side, so there it goes. Apple's really, I mean, it's crazy that I didn't trade it today, honestly, to be honest with you, as we normally do trade Apple. There we go. Come on, Microsoft. 355 in 15 seconds. But again, join me, market recap. We'll have Chris Bretcher. We'll talk about everything. I'm really super excited. And shout out to Shakib. We got Hydration Nation right here. We're going to go fill it up so we don't have to get Fabian to do it. As here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see. I mean, look, we're already here. So, I mean, there's Microsoft again. I mean, how many dollar winners do you guys want? I mean, there it is right now. We're smoking. We've been smoking here for a while. Microsoft, nice downside move. And here's $1.10 now in the money on this name. So I think we'll just take this. A great way to end the day. Fantastic. We'll end the day at our highest spot here. And just really, really proud to give you guys some of those trades and then stick with them. You know, stick with it. We didn't have outs until they were hit. So, again, Sharif said something yesterday about dimes and dollars, and that was even in the chat here today. So, again, Pan W, Cisco tonight, and
Alibaba. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, yeah. There's a lot tomorrow morning. So tonight we'll be waiting for those two. I'm going to put a bid out. And there it is. We'll close it up. The chef is done. The cooking is now done for the day. And it was one hell of a day there. So thank you for watching. We're going to go over to the big desk. In 4 minutes, join me for the best show on YouTube, sans the one you're watching. It's the Market Recap Show. Tomorrow, JC Peretz. Today, Chris Bretcher. Yesterday, Brian Shannon. It just goes on and on and on. Daniel Shea, Michael Noss, and more. We're going to have the Fibonacci Princess potentially coming through as well. There's lots of stuff happening. It's going to be monstrous. It's what we're doing here, and we're not stopping. I'm Sean Katina, and I'll see you later.
Yes, sir. Let's get back into it. There's a question, why would we look at imbalances? Sometimes they move the market, sometimes they move individual stocks, sometimes they don't. However, no one ever hurt by getting more information. So we look at it every single day on the off chance. If you're trading something and if you're in a long and that stock comes out, a gigantic sell imbalance, you're probably going to care about it in that moment. So it does not mean stock has to go up or down because it's indicating an up print on the auction or a down print in the auction. That's not what it means. It just means that there is sometimes heavy open interest in the auction, and it's leaning in one direction. It might inform your trade, it might not inform your trade. But information is power. So we get it piped in our platform here at Day Trade the World. A lot of brokers probably have it. The reality is it comes in the SIP, so it's going to be in the market data feed for the New York and the NASDAQ. It's just a matter of whether your broker has turned it on. You probably have to pay an entitlement for it. We do get it here, and we can pass it on to you. So that TLT has paired off. You can see it was 4 million, now it's 900,000. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go up or down in that moment, but you did see a pretty decent sell imbalance at 350. That is mostly algo trade. So if you're able to capture this, 10 cents on TLT, good for you. It probably means you're not a human, you're probably a robot. And then a lot of times you'll get that pairing event. So not a heck of a lot of movement. It was already trending down going into it. But if you I just saw this here, Nunya Biz. Look, if what you trade is TLT, you just said he traded the TLT channel perfectly. If what you trade is TLT, look at the afternoon, 88.80 to 88.30. You know, that's 50 points, and you're getting it back and forth multiple times. It doesn't necessarily matter what you trade when you're looking for trading opportunities, so long as you can find a pattern and then try to rinse and repeat it. Again, show you this is the range, this is what you're able to capture. If you go off higher time frames, then you might have liked the 330 level, that crazy bottom, that's too far. That 330 level, if you like higher time frames, you're like, oh, previous level on the daily 330. When it dips down into that level, you're looking for a long where you can get bigger risk to reward. It doesn't really matter. As long as you find the pattern that works for you, scalp when you can. Again, all these setups, plenty of opportunities out there for everybody. There's about a minute to go here. Obviously, no positions will be put on. Don't really get in at the end of the day. I was thinking about that Argo, and I got the spread anyway, so nothing to do there. If you're looking for some relative strength that we ignored today, I do want to get back to, we didn't really talk about this because we talked about it in the morning show, was in and out of Disney once. So this was, if I regret one thing today, it was not really staying with Disney. Now, I liked 91 for a breakout last week. You know, this area here, you never got it. It put in the higher low, and Disney is up 3%, and finally going to close above the 200 period moving average. So this is a big close for Disney. The next step up, if it takes out 2094, is into the 100s. If it gets there, I'm selling my personal account, but I think you can still look for the longs tomorrow. This is a breakout. I don't know about that Southwest, but this is a stock which is breaking out of its bottom pretty convincingly. As we have less than 20 seconds, let's get on over. Get the camera off me. You know where to put it, and that's to Adara at the bell. It's hump day. It's a good day overall for trading, but the market's stalling out a bit after an impressive move in yesterday's trade. Some profit taking, but we close in 2 and 1, so ring it. There you go. You know it's a little bit different now because you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to change streams. You're just going to sit here. I want to give a big shout out to the 1s and 2s. Fabian and Ramin doing a great job. Adara killing it on that midday as always with Sharif. Brennan giving us that fresh news pretty much all afternoon long. Shout out, I want to thank Obi for stepping in for me yesterday. The Bills absolutely sucked, but that wasn't the reason I was off. I was taking off anyways. But you know where you're headed. You've got some earnings. It is Cisco, and more importantly, Palo Alto. Big name reporting. You have to wait for tomorrow for Alibaba, but today you're going to get a big one in the cybersecurity space. Watch out for some sympathy in CrowdStrike. That's been the bigger percentage mover, so it is worth watching. In addition to PanW. Let's get on over to the desk. It is the market recap, and it's at the desk now with Sean.
Yo, what's up? If you didn't get enough of me on the first couple shows, well, we're back right now with the biggest and the baddest market recap show around. Let's go. I'm Sean Katina. You are now with us here. And what a crazy day it was. I was just reading over some notes there. The consumer staples sector today, absolutely rocking. One of the strongest sectors today. Started off with Target. We can also check out the retail sector today. The XRT, I mean, and that's what we're going to do live on the show. We have the rundown coming. I want to thank Chris Brecher. Shouldn't thank him yet, but he's coming at 4:15. He's going to be here as well. It's going to be a good day for us as we await PanW. And if you're wondering where we get our news from, it's Benzinga Pro right now sponsoring for Trader TV Live. Anything that pops in here, we will get you the names ASAP, including Cisco, including Palo Alto, and not much else. So we'll wait to see if that comes in. Anything that happens, man, we'll get it there. Bit Brother receives NASDAQ delisting. Not great. If you own that stock, then you do not want any part of that. And here's another tool that we'll use. Shout out to Michael Naw. Shout out to Trade Ideas. I'll just have to reload this and push it up. These are races. These are called aftermarket races. And well, these are aftermarket ones. You could set them to any time frame you want. So come over. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, guys. Once things start to hit here and significant volume rolls through on any name, it's going to show up in here. So we'll refresh that again. Push start. Okay, so right now just this name, CBA. SPAY moving around. But once something starts to pop in, we will be here for that. So once again, thank you to everybody who's here. Let's just do a quick little roll call just to see. Yo, Ozan is in the building, baby. That's what we're talking about. Celsius took a bunch of my money. I'm sorry about that. All right, so let's go. Football is stupid from Neil, correct. Hello. Money today from Matthew Cook. What's up to Michael Pena? What's up to Alex Davis and everybody else? We have more to do. We'll do roll call at the end of the day, guys. But thank you so much to everybody. Trader Forever. Let's start to go over the show. We're not just shouting everybody out, but we want to thank everybody for being here with us. Look at FXI. If you want to talk about this one, hey, who brought you FXI about 3 weeks ago, months ago at that? We love FXI down here at $25. And boom goes the dynamite. Shout out to Shakib if you're here as well as FXI. That is large cap ETF China names. And what started that rally today? They're up 2.5%. We talked about this yesterday, actually, or what? Maybe it was a couple days ago. What was yesterday, Tuesday? No, we would have had Brian on yesterday. Right, when we were talking about diversifying into ETFs, maybe instead of single stock risk. Well, Alibaba up 4% today. This is the name that I would pick on. I like Singles Day. I like the retail environment. I think if Alibaba, I know, I've done research because I own the stock, PricewaterhouseCoopers is, and this is when people were questioning the legitimacy of accounting, but these guys do have stateside accounting, PricewaterhouseCoopers, so Alibaba there with their report coming tomorrow in the AM. We'll see, I think it comes like overnight, but we'll see tomorrow Alibaba's report. Guess what? My call for Alibaba, I mean, this is just a 1 minute chart. Let's go over to a daily quickly. There's dailies down. Oh no, we don't have a daily up here. Actually, this should, I'm gonna switch this over to a daily just so it's always there, the bottom left, so you guys can always see it. I think Alibaba, I mean, I haven't really heard too much AI talk from a lot of the Chinese names. Now, that's not going to be true. There is AI talk, PDD, so on and so forth. But if Alibaba can match some of that positivity with momentum in the space, I think Alibaba could have a monster day. And the 200 period is right here, guys. If you can come over, Fabian. The 200 period is right here at 90. I think we take that out. I mean, you're only at 87, so that's easy day. And then watch out for 100. Would not be surprised if it goes, man. Alibaba, this guy likes it. There's XRT today. Again, big day for XRT based on Target. Target came out, and again, just to give you some notes here about Target, big time movement there. $2 EPS versus 148 expected. 210 EPS, sorry, versus 148 expected. Look at this, a big middle finger to the shorts right now there. Not heavily shorted though, 1.46%. But again, 25 billion in revenue, 25.4 versus 25.2 expected. Great move up and a good guide forward for holiday sales. So it's a nice move up there for Target. TJX has really been working as more of a discount brand, I guess. Obviously, it's a retail, but nice move to the upside right there for TJX as well. Fading back out a little bit today, down that 3%. What did Walmart do? Walmart has been like super hot fire as you go because Walmart just continues to take out. This could be all-time highs. What was that? Oh, Pan W's out. Okay, Pan W is out right now. So thank you so much for that. Right now, let's find out about Palo Alto. You know your boy owns this name, so we're going to find out a little bit about what it's doing. Thank you so. Yes, kablackow to the downside right now. We used to have a friend that used to go blackow right there, but there it is. Why do I not see it on here? Come on. I don't see Pan W on here. I can't give you the exact numbers, but if you guys have it, I'm going to go search it right now on Twitter to see if I can get you the latest numbers out of Palo Alto. It is a dump city right now, down for Palo Alto. We've got it right now. Cisco is also out right there. There's Palo Alto. Q1 adjusted, sorry. Q1, 1.38 beats 116. Sales beats. Why is Palo Alto getting hit? Must be the guide for Palo Alto. Right here, let's check out Cisco. Wow, it is getting pumped. What is Cisco Systems doing? Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs, good call on that one. It is Cisco to the downside. So we'll hit some fails. I got to rearrange this. Where is the fail? There it is. Right there. Cisco right now. Quarterly adjusted earnings 111 versus 103. That's good. 29% increase. That's nice. Quarterly sales of 14 versus 14.62. So a little bit 14.67 versus 6.2. A little bit better there. So what is the problem? We will wait to see if we hear anything about this. Down 10+%. Both of these names right now. I'm going to keep Benzinga up on the side. Thank you so much to the chat for bringing that to us as I was going off about retail. It is Cisco right now, down 10. Cisco down 10. I'll just continue to wait to see what that guide is all about. And this show is not about, honestly, like, I'm doing this show by myself, literally. Like, Brendan's not here, Neil's not here, Sharif's not here, Adair's not here. We have obviously our amazing team right here watching the cameras for us. So I don't have anybody in my ear right now. All I can do is read what we see here from Benzinga. It is down. It is Palo Alto. And to be quite frank with everybody, look, traders stay late. We're all traders. It doesn't really matter what Pan W said. I'm not going to run through the numbers right now, nor are you. So what we can do is just watch out for this move down in on Pan W. Wow. I really like this name. Let me see if this is worth dip buying. So you could see it on here on a 30-minute. Let me adjust this to a 1 just so we can get another, so you guys can see the action as I discuss what the daily looks like here for Palo Alto. Here it is right here. All right, Benzinga Pro coming out for us here now. Sees Q2 adjusted. Why was that Q1 for them? That's a little strange, but okay. So Q1 just happened, Q2 happening right now. All right, so they see adjusted EPS higher. Well, that was GameStop. I'm like, oh my God, GameStop reported as well. Okay, so right now, Palo Alto, 129 to 131 versus 125. That's better, right? Revenues, slightly better. Not sure what the problem is. It sees adjusted EPS 540 versus 530, 553 versus 533. If you guys find it, man, let me know. Unfortunately, Bears versus Bulls, if you see anything, tell me in our own private chat because I'm not going to be able to read what the problem is here with Pan W, but right now it is making the move down. I'd say buy. Okay, blind call right now, buy this dip. We've talked about names like SMH. Remember when SMH was bleeding down and we hit the 200 period? Now SMH is an ETF, so you take away single stock risk. That's not for me. Fabian every day brings me a water, and I was like, I hope he didn't do that. I thank you so much for bringing it, but we got one there today. Stay hydrated, everybody. Now you're seeing a bounce off of SMH there into that level. So for Pan W, I'm a little more excited about Palo Alto than I would be about Cisco, just because of Palo Alto was just, I think it was, 2 months ago, added to the NASDAQ 100. Cisco obviously been there for a minute. And look at these guys falling right back. There's the tick right now, 233, right? Palo Alto bouncing off this level, no surprise. So you're coming in right now into this support level of 230. If Pan W, and we can ask Chris about this. Chris, if you're watching, Chris, 220 right there for Palo Alto. That's a spot that I would like to buy this name. Let's see what's going on with Cisco real quickly on this. I'm just going to turn this screen so I can see what Chris is going to talk about in a second there. I got it. That's fine. Right there. Okay, I got it. All right, so Cisco, 47 dropping back in as well. So the reason why this doesn't look as great to me, okay, couple reasons. Under the 200 period, fail. I don't like. Under there, well, by the way, we're basically on earnings. I'm going to go next topic, although I will talk about more sectors coming up in a second. We have Chris in 5 minutes. We're below now. We're below the 200 period moving average. We're obviously below the 50. It's sloping down. Cisco was a name that I was interested in. We did not get involved in Cisco. I do not own this name. Good thing, too, because today you're shaving off about 10%. But look at this bump from 44 up to 48. Look, if you're on the show with us now, we just went over the Pan W report. I didn't see an issue. Now you're up $10 from that bottom on Palo Alto, man. Buy weakness in strong companies is about all I have to say right there. Just a quick look. Are there any randos moving around here? All for one, one for all mankind right here, making a move. That stock's been beat up pretty badly. I don't know if it has recently or not. Nothing else. No other names that are really, is that Parker Warby? Yeah, Warby Parker, sorry. Move down there. And again, another, like this is another name. I'm not, look, the reason why I said that is I think I want to get, I need to wear at night for vision, long distance, glasses. So I might have to go pick some up, but that is Warby Parker, I believe. And again, this is another name. Who wants to bet if this name is up or down from its recent IPO? Let's go double check it right now. Yeah, very good, Ramin. I would say that is correct. And there, Ramin just said down. And shout out to Ramin because look at this. There's Parker Warby. If you bought it at IPO, what a surprise. You paid $54. How is that feeling down here at 10 right now? So this is honestly, this IPO market, man, I hate it. The more and more I look at these things, I was able to buy Twilio at $35, $36. Also Palantir at $9 on the direct list. That was pretty hot fire. As you can see, Palantir's up to 20 right now. So that's going to be a good one. Palantir did flirt underneath that. Can you believe Palantir was $7 not too long ago? Now touching 20. Okay, so sector recap. That's what we're supposed to do. Let's go one more previous topic back up to the upside real quick. I know I'm going back and forth, Ramin. I'll probably get in trouble. Right there, USO. Sharif's super happy about this. Like, honestly, for me, guys, it's all about the investment for me, right? What I fill the car up with, honestly, man, if I have to worry about gas prices, I'm in the wrong business. But $60, we're obviously always worried about it. And I'm one of those guys, and I think it's just because I'm a numbers guy. Every time I drive by a gas station, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, $1.44 a liter, which is what it is here right now. I'm like, okay, let's see, can it go down? Oh, $1.41, like I get really excited. And then shout out to Marissa if you're watching. Actually, we have another hockey practice tonight. But if you're listening, she knows. I'm always asking. She's like, I filled up today. I'm like, what price? And she can never remember. But I always like to know about that. Oil down today, USO, nice downside push. I still like this because we're above the 200 period. So I still like oil moving forward. TLT, of course. Neil talked about this a little bit at the end. Rates coming back upside, so you're going to see a little bit of a reversion back up for TLT here as well. XLU utilities, again, some of these interest rate sensitive names are going to move around a lot more. And actually, we never really talk about the IYT. I know Chris looks at transport, so if there are any questions, put them in the chat there. We'll see if we can ask Chris something about that if he's interested. FXI, XRT, what was up today? The Widowmaker gas, nat gas, up 1.5%. KRE, man, the regional's actually really doing well. Since that all clear was fired off by Jerome Powell, at least I read it as an all clear last week. We noticed, shout out to Hydration Nation as well. Yeah, you may want to fade this move though. So the KRE right back in here into the 200 period moving average. We are going to have JC Peretz on tomorrow. Again, probably one of the most, I don't want to say the most famous, but again, a big CMT out there. We're going to have him on. I want to talk to him about a few things. So get ready for that coming tomorrow. This is an interesting thing for me too, the TAN ETF. So again, this is solar. I'm really beat up, and again, on a bump back through, more confidence that rate hikes are over with. Again, the problem with solar are the deals that they're made, right? And so when they tell you that they're going to give you 2% financing on your solar panels, and we're not just talking about homes, this is also for retail, commercial, industrial, they're having to subsidize some of those rates to get these panels up on roofs, right? The problem is when you're subsidizing rates and you're maybe variable or you're just month to month or whatever, Enphase, SolarEdge and all that are, as the rates start to go up, we've seen this hit Silicon Valley and some of those, you have that dispersion in what you owe versus what you have to pay yourself. So as the rates go up, that starts to increase, and that definitely hit the solar space as well. So shout out to that. XLP today, we talked a little bit about where the strength was in that sector coming from, again, this is the retail sector, consumer staples, sorry. Target making the move up, as well as Tesla, a part in that. Because we're talking about sector recap, I tweeted something out today, so come over here, and it was just a recent one. First of all, if you haven't seen my kid, I am super passionate about everything I do. Come over, quick. There it is, he's hitting the gritty. That's why I wanted to show everybody right there. You can go find it out. Very proud of you, my guy. That is for sure. All right, we often talk about what Berkshire Hathaway's holdings are. Okay, what up with that? What's up with this? Here's Bill Ackman right now. Again, super popular, super beloved hedge fund manager, Bill Ackman, updating his portfolio again. Look what they own. Hey, Bill, You and me alike. Google, my largest holding, also his. Chipotle, Burger King. Okay, a little bit of QSR action going through there. Hilton, Lowe's, Howard Hughes, and then there's Canadian Pacific. Look at his last 5-year performance, putting Warren Buffett to shame. As if, right? Bill Ackman right now, 192% performance over the last 5 years. Warren Buffett just chugging along at 60. Buffett still beating the market. It's 49% on the market. You're not going to beat the market, man, generally speaking. So the S&P 500, 50% last 5 years. Those of you that have been in money markets, I'm sorry. Carl Icahn down 71% over that same time period. But there was a hit piece out on IEP. So this is Icahn Enterprises. So again, that number would not be that bad if not for latest movements down in IEP. So, all right, we're ready to rock and roll. What about Chris? He is too. So let's go. It's Trader Talk. All righty, it is Mr. Chris Brecher. How are you, my friend, on a very, very exciting past couple days?
Fine. It was funny you mentioned Warby Parker. Wasn't that the name of the Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places, the rich kid? That's a perfect name for him, I'll tell you right now.
That's hilarious. You might be onto something there. How was your trading today?
Pardon me?
How was your trading today?
Today was, well, let's put it this way. I did a class on the art of selling short right before the market went up 5%. So great timing. But the key a lot of times is to, avoid disaster.
Right.
And then the end of the day, we kicked butt. And I changed what I wanted to talk to you about, and I hope that's okay.
No, it's okay, of course. It's okay. Yeah, we were going to talk about short selling a little bit, right? But whatever else you want to talk, whatever else you want to go with, Chris, the floor is yours for the next couple minutes.
All right. Number one, I agree with you about PANW in that 230 area, 225 area. I think that's a takeover candidate.
Yep.
But it just seems, look at that chart. Almost every single time, either it sells off prior to the earnings, it rallies, or if it rallies into earnings, it sells off. But this time, you're right in this zone. You got to think to do spreads over the market for, maybe 3 weeks out.
Chris, can I interrupt?
I agree with you.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, sure.
What I wanted to ask you was very interesting because I make calls like that all the time. And I was talking about Peloton getting involved with Lululemon way before it happened. The stock is down actually since then. So it wasn't the savior by any stretch of the imagination. Is there something that you look at for making comments like that? Like you think maybe it's a takeover candidate? Is there something maybe in the options market? Is there anything that you look at? Because I often get those same feels sometimes. And it's not a surprise to me today that Berkshire got involved with Sirius Satellite Radio. I'm wondering if there's something there as well. What makes you think that about certain names?
Well, PANW, there was already one in the group, Splunk. That was my favorite takeover candidate.
Right.
Was Splunk, and it got taken over. And it just seems like at a certain price, companies will look to buy it. So maybe it's 225, but I would remember last week we had a good trade in USO because there was all that gigantic call buying.
Yep.
And then it went up. It was really exciting.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting to you about was that call volume. I really like Palo Alto. I think it's best of breed, and I think if there is going to be a takeover target, maybe they're them. The only thing I'm looking at here, their market cap is $73 billion.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
So you might have to do it in stock and cash. But there is a company that does have a lot of products that may need some cybersecurity, and their name may start with it might be something similar to a fruit, and it may be Apple. Apple's cash on hand, and I don't think Apple doesn't do these big deals. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I remember when they bought Beats, and they made Dr. Dre filthy rich as well. Cash on hand for Apple, what we're seeing right now is only $61 billion. So no deal like this is going to get done in cash. But okay, Chris, what else here do you want to go with? I see your chart. You've been talking a little bit to us sometimes about bonds. We talk about the transports or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anything specific on your mind here today?
Yeah, it's funny because on the one hand, seasonal, you usually go up at this time of year, but all day, everybody wanted to buy. And I'm like, in good conscience, when the bond market is getting hit and taken back almost all of yesterday, in good conscience, I had to find sells, not buys.
Okay.
So what we did is, that old 1550 trade again. So basically what we did is the bonds closed on the low, and the SPX, the Russell was on its low, and the NASDAQ didn't look so hot. And we were watching these trend lines, and we weren't sure. So we didn't buy the 45.10 puts. We bought the XSP that's a tenth of the SPX.
Okay.
And what we did in there is this. I thought you'd like this. We bought the 450, 451, that put fly for 22 cents. Or 220 for the SPX. So some of us bought 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
But when the bonds were on their low, we're like, we should really buy the middle strike back and just let the 451 run. Just keep in mind, it was 17 cents when we did that. So we bought the middle strike back at 2 cents.
Okay.
And we let the other one ride. And we got out between 70 and 85 cents.
Jeez. Nice.
Because as it plummeted, you would have panicked on the middle strike. So we just bought the middle strike back in anticipation of that last 10 minutes of lack of buying.
I'm glad you're talking about that kind of stuff because pretty soon we will be able to trade live with Trader TV Live, hopefully options. And then I'm not sure which names we'll get there, but some good little looks right there for sure. Okay, man, Chris, it's been great. I want to keep you for longer here, but I do have one quick question. We really traded Microsoft really well today. Just your opinion. I'll give you a second to call up some charts on Microsoft. I really like this name for a variety of reasons. Tell me what you think here, Chris, because we've just taken out this all-time high in and around 366, and now I kind of want to go pretty heavily long this name because of this little level right here, this back into 360. I'm not too scared of it breaking back down below that. I like this little movement back up to the upside right now. Is there anything, in your opinion, that should maybe scare us away from going long and then just using this 360 as maybe our level of concern? And then if it breaks lower, we get out. But for me, it's working and it's working well. I like Microsoft here basically for a hold, definitely into the new year, into Santa Claus. Let's see what happens with this rally. I really like Microsoft. Do you like it, or has it maybe ran too far?
I'm looking as you're talking because I don't trade it that much, but almost every time on the bottom that MACD, you can use any oscillator you want, gets that overbought on a weekly, and it's this extended, it usually goes down, at least for a while, or stutters. So usually what happens, though, is you get a week of a reversal candle. So you have time to get out. So I definitely see what you're talking about. But I get nervous when it's this extended and the oscillator I use is that overbought. I get real nervous.
Yeah, I was, and that's why I wanted to ask you that question because, overextended moves and whatnot can be very, very dangerous. But I was just wanting to play the momentum to the upside. It's already broken the highs. Apple still has to break its high. Google, all these names still have to go. Amazon, and I just think if these names get going, then what they say is high tide raises all ships. And this ship is already sailing, so I like Microsoft to the long side. All right, Chris, if I could give you 1 week, is there anything right now? Last time, a couple times ago, you brought us UPS, and I think you're out of it the very next day, but it was a great trade. Is there anything right now that is setting up either for a long or for a short, maybe for some of our swing traders that are in the chat?
Well, I better say a short if I did a short selling class, but then I better be right or everybody's going to be like, why'd you do a short selling class? But I'll give you a good idea. Usually when the SPX gets this overbought on a weekly at resistance, you get a indecision candle. So on a daily today, you got a nice doji. So indecision, almost every time it's had a sell-off, it started with a doji. Indecision, especially if it's at resistance and overbought and the bond market going down. So we're doing this for the end of the year. Now, there are a couple of ways to play it, but we did this. We just went and did a put fly 40 points under the market in the S&P. Now, the big problem with this is if the volatility, which is low,
You look at
we did 60 point wide. We did this. There you go. 60 point wide. This is betting that this is going to stick at the maximum right here and slowly drift down. So on the one hand, you have the pressure from the bond market. On the other hand, you have the pressure from historical, but it seemed like 675 for a 60 point wide. You can just sort of close your eyes and buy that. That's one of them. The other is looking for the Russell to catch up with the rest of the markets as long as the bond market stops crashing, because that's underperformed so much. So IWM doing spreads above the market in there.
All right, so a couple short ideas right there. You can go find Chris at Simpler Trading. Go search him on Google, find him somewhere, and he will be able to explain all of this. Plus, you also have some of your seminars, so on and so forth, webinars. Thank you so much. Go find Chris Brecher. Thank you so much for joining me one more time. Have a fantastic rest of your afternoon and rest of your day. Oh, the plumbing, is that all good?
Nah, he was here again today. I don't want to really get into it.
Okay.
It was... It's been a lot of fun.
I apologize. I hate spending that money myself as well. So thank you, Chris. Have a good one. Make more money and pay that plumber. Ciao, my guy. Peace. All right, there it is, Chris Brecher. And like I said, man, if those call, fly, put spreads, this and that and the other thing, you want more explanation for that, hit him up in the chat. Go find him at Simpler Trading or wherever, you search for. I know he's also on, it was on Twitter, on X, and then what's that other one? StockTwits. That's what I'm looking for. Chris Brecher, thank you so much one more time. All right, trade of the day. Let's go real quick because we got 1 minute, and I got a Little League annual general meeting whereby I'm already a double coach. I may join the executive because, again, I complain about, thank you. I complain all the time about stuff to do, but hey, I like it. I like doing that kind of stuff. And I like being here with you guys as well. I'm not trying to run out of energy. That is for damn sure. All right, the one important thing about this. Now, you're going to see, I just want to talk about this real quick. This is going to look messy, and I don't know how much you can see here. But the one important thing that I want to go through right now quickly as I'm looking for my sticky note, and the reason why is because I just want to show you something that I changed my mind. And as a trader, you got to have this ability, right? There it is, Microsoft 370 long. We just talked about that. I am biased to the long side. You heard what I asked Chris. Now, still over the all-time high or at the all-time high. Let's see if it's for supports first at 370. Stay long. Okay, so there it is. That's what we put this out at 8 o'clock every single day. Join me, join everybody, whatever. I'm here. I'm a real one. You guys know that. Here's 370. It pulls back in. So we were very, very patient. Hey, man, this started the day up here at 375. All right, so we damn well nailed that price at 370. It falls right into that, and then all of a sudden spin it. We don't have it right here, but the calculations start to hit, and we make money off the long early. We're here. Nice move. Boom. Then it comes back in. We get out. We hold a little bit. We always hold a little bit. You know that. Comes in. We reloaded, and then it drops out again. So we're gone. Now, the minute it takes that 370 and the market was starting to get a little bit heavy, remember, we were already up huge today. So now we start to say, okay, this move down, not suspected, but now we're going to play short because it's actually acting a little differently than we thought. It breaks through 370, and I was just like, you know what? We have VWAP up here. We have the 200. Everything's sloping down. The 50's sloping down. Let's play the shorts. Well, guess what? No, it's not the professor hitting multiple bangs right there. We shorted there at 370.50. Look at this push back down in, right? Down into 368. Ho-hum, $2, right? Make the money long, make the money short, make the money on the reload. Then look what happens. Patience pays again. I didn't have an idea for the long, although looking back right now, hello, right there, that long was good. Let it float all the way back up, then do the same trade over again. Look at this. All these shorts again, and this is going to be like, oh, well, those aren't big winners, but haha, they actually are for me. When you're sitting up here in protection, and again, a lot of us will trade many different shares. Without talking about anything. You guys know that Adara's in sim mode, things like that. Sharif and Neil can explain to you whatever they want, but I'm sitting here putting on these trades and making cash on these. So there it is right there, back in. This is 370.35. Look at that fill down there. 369.30 to end the day. 369.40. These are dollars. There it is again, 80 cents off this top. So I really like Microsoft. It was a good trade today. We went 7-1 today. It was a great day. Real sees real, and real traders stay late. So I want to thank everybody. It's going to be an exciting day tomorrow. We're back in the building one more time. We're going to have JC Peretz on tomorrow. I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm not nervous. I mean, obviously we'll do the interview and it'll be great, but I'm really excited for it. I think it's a big time guest. I think he and him will jive. So I'm looking forward to that. Check me tomorrow. It's the recap show. It's the best show on YouTube. I'm here. Well, Trader TV is the best channel. So find all of our shows all day. We're streaming all day, live quotes, everything. We've got the energy. One more time. Let's do a roll call. All right, we never end the show without saying a big thank you to absolutely everybody that's watching. So we have 1,700 watching right now. Please hit the like button as much as you possibly can. Thank you so much, Daryl. I really appreciate that, man. I know Neil got stopped on Meta, but he did have a short there at the end of the day, so that was good. I don't know if it was a profitable one, but the short was for sure. Thanks, Tom's Trades. Thanks, Nunya Biz as well. Eric is here. Daryl, thank you so much to everybody. And then this is what I do all the time, too. So there's a little pink hand. I always thought this was kind of a middle finger, but someone told me it wasn't. So I'm going to put that out as well. Thank you to everybody for coming out today and for watching. Thank you to Chris Brecher again. Bang up job for my guy right there. And I do want to give a big shout out to everybody that super chatted. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. Over to the screen one last time. Kirk, Native, Samuel Martin, Jay's Passion, Mac Attack, Ahmed, Pico de Gallo, I love some Pico de Gallo, Williams in there, Tisha Perkins, thank you so much, Lucas and Danielle for new members. Thank you so much to everybody, and here we go, thank you so much. I see all the chats here and all the tags. It really does mean a lot to me. Look, I actually signed up to do this. You know what I mean? I was like, let me do this recap show. I think it's something that everybody wants. I could sign out, get out of here. You know, I'm the only one left. So I want to thank you for staying late with me. It does mean a lot. Quickly checking in on Palo Alto, because, hey, man, we're traders and we're here. Pan W, what is happening to this name? I called the buy down there at 230. It's still here. Watch out for this name tomorrow. Nice little top made there at 236. Could be a breakout long tomorrow for me. We'll watch out for that. Palo Alto still down 11. Cisco down as well right now. Well, bounce back again off that 46 level. I believe Cisco, more of a short for me than a long. We'll watch out for Cisco tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'm Sean Katina. I got to get out of here. Traders stay late, and you did with me, so much appreciated. Catch me tomorrow at 8:30. Get some good rest tonight, because I know I may or may not. I traded away Dak, and then he had a huge game, so I'm a little bit still feeling ways from fantasy football. But I want to say thank you to everybody. Ciao till tomorrow, 8:30. I'll be back.